5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Sorry, we're running a few minutes late here. We had to corral the cats, so to speak, literally. And welcome to Gas Mask and Hand Grenades tonight. I'm your host, Jeff, and tonight we have a star-studded panel here. We have a transatlantic panel, and I would say it was my first one, but actually Johnny Mac and I did one. Was that last weekend, dude?
Last week, mate, yeah.
Last week we did Fish. But this time we're doing something different. We're going to get into some doom metal because all of us on this panel here absolutely love doom metal. And I'm going to go to that side panel thing here. And I'm going to pull up our guests here. And tonight, for the first time on Gas Mask, first time transatlantically, or have you done other ones? I think you did one with Ken.
I've done one with Ken.
Right.
A long time ago now, though.
Yeah. So Liam from the Death Doom Metalhead is here with us tonight. And we were just talking about this before Greg and Rick popped in. Liam will be the youngster among us. He will be the young blood, so to speak, right?
The gray-haired youngster. Hell yeah.
All right. Also from the UK, we have the Welshman, right? You're Welsh, right?
Certainly am, sir, yep.
All right, sir. We've got Johnny Mac from Rock and Metal Plus is joining us, and thanks for being here, John. And we've got from the U.S. of A. This guy I've never seen. This is Smooth Criminal right here. Smooth Criminal. This boy right here. He's
He's mute.
Now, Rick, you're mute.
There we go.
There we go.
We're on a Doooooom Island, right? We're gonna be hitting our heads. We need
got sun. Yeah. Did everybody bring their sunscreen? No. I don't really.
Don't need it here.
To honor you guys tonight, I'm having some English breakfast.
Jesus Christ. Here we go.
No, you all do that strange thing when you put milk in your tea.
I do it.
I didn't do that though. I just can't do it. I do it in my coffee, but I don't know. You guys are strange.
I always put milk in my tea, man. Always. And very special guest tonight. Not to make you more special than everybody else, sir, but we've got the amazing Greg Chandler here, who is back again. He came back after 4.5 hours with me. He's a glutton for punishment, clearly.
Hi.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite, mate.
We are going to try to move this relatively quickly, but tonight the topic is doom metal, and we are all big fans of doom metal. I'm going to read a real quick little definition of doom, and we'll kind of go from there, and then we're going to go around the horn real quick and ask a few questions of everybody, and then we'll get into our choices. So doom metal is an extreme subgenre of heavy metal music that typically uses slower tempos, lower tuned guitars, and a much thicker or heavier sound than other metal genres. I'm not sure I agree with that so much, but both the music and the lyrics are intended to evoke a sense of despair, dread, impending doom. The genre is strongly influenced by the early works of One Black Sabbath from, I believe, Greg? Birmingham, right?
Yep, that's right.
There we go. Guitarists and bass often tune down their instruments to lower notes and make use of large amounts of distortion, thus producing a very thick or heavy guitar tone, which is one of the defining characteristics of the genre. Along with the usual heavy metal compositional techniques of guitar and bass playing the same riff in unison, this creates a loud and bass-heavy wall of sound. Another defining characteristic is the consistent focus on slower tempos. Not necessarily. I don't really agree with that entirely. Minor tonalities with much use of dissonance, especially in the form of the tritone, employing the usage of repetitive rhythms with little regard to harmonic progression and musical structure. Again, I'm not sure I totally agree with that. But traditional doom male vocalists favor clean vocals, which are often performed with a sense of despair, desperation, or pain, imitating the high tones of guys like Ozzy and Bobby Liebling and guys like that. But we're going to venture into guys that don't always sing clean, I believe, in this little soiree we're doing here. I think there will be a lot of harsher vocals amongst our choices. Lyrics in doom metal play a key role, influenced by notable blues musicians Robert Johnson and Son House. I'm not sure I get that, but normally they are gloomy and pessimistic, including themes such as suffering, depression, fear, grief, dread, death, and anger. While some bands write lyrics in introspective and personal ways, others convey their themes using symbolism, which may be inspired by the occult arts and literature. So I think we'll stop there, and we'll get into the questions that I sent you guys. And I'm going to start with, well, I'll go last, and we'll start with Liam. How about we start with you? And I asked you guys the following question: what is doom metal to you? What does the genre entail as a heavy fan of music, and what sets doom apart from the other genres you listen to?
Okay, so doom to me is probably the easiest music to play on the guitar. That's the main reason I got into doom, if I'm brutally honest. But jokes aside, the sound you can get from doom, you can do so much musically with it. You can do a few chords, but with the harmonies you put underneath it, you can create this massive wall of sound. And I've always loved that. Like Greg is an obvious one with Esoteric, but you've got bands like My Dying Bride who put violins in there, and I've never heard that before. And then, you know, that kind of genre and how it's sculpted, you can do so much with it. And it's a genre that can sound similar with loads of different bands, but you can also change the sound. You can put loads of different instruments in it. You can be really creative with it. And yeah, I just fucking love it.
And we should mention that Liam also is a rock star of sorts. He plays in a band called Consecration, which, if I'm not incorrect, Greg did some mastering on or mixing. What
he's totally he got asked to do that, and he loved that, I guess.
Nice. So I'm sort of surprised he actually decided to come here because you were here. But
Rick's got a rare one now.
Just kidding. All right, Johnny Mac, let's do you next, sir. What is doom music, doom metal to you, and what sets it apart from other genres?
Well, like Liam, as I said, there's a lot to it, and there's like a lot of music these days. I myself and Liam are currently both getting into black metal a lot, but that's another thing. And that has also currently got so many different layers. There's so many different soundscapes going into that, but that's not happened. It's only happened recently, as far as I can tell. But doom, they've been doing it for so long. There's so many different types of stuff. You've got your death doom, obviously, with your sort of death metal vocals, but there's still your Sabbathy riffs and the chunkiness and the slowness. You know, you've got your stoner stuff, stoner psych, progressive doom as well, which is obviously there's a lot more to it. To be honest, majority of it all sounds like different albums by Black Sabbath. If we're truthful, they seem to take different parts of the Aussie stuff and go, right, well that's the doom, that's the most stoner side. And I think it's just the fact that it's heavy, and like for me, it's almost like when Slayer, after Rain in Blood, they did not Caesars in the Abyss, South of Heaven, and that was the track South of Heaven. When that came out, it was so heavy. Ooh, dog's having a cough. That it was so heavy because it was slow. And I think it's the slowness. I don't know if you guys have seen interviews with English band Cathedral. I think they did some limited edition stuff at one point. And there's a series of interviews on the earache stuff. And I think they were saying that what brought them into the genre was the heaviness and the slowness of it. Because like myself, I'm at the age where, and people my age in the UK, we all got into the extreme stuff. So it was a sort of end of the 80s, start of the 90s. You were getting it here. It was your Carcasses, your Napalm Deaths, and all that sort of stuff. So it kind of moved on from that. It went full on extreme, and you were getting, you know, I was going up to Liverpool to see Carcass. The next minute they were coming down to that. Bands were coming down to Wrexham all the time. We were getting to see Extreme Noise Terror and Napalm and all these sort of bands. So I think it was almost like an alternative to that, and it was just slowing it down again. And to be honest, the one band that really hit me, a Candlemass. I was lucky enough to see him in 1988 with Messiah, and absolutely
Wow.
blew me away at the local club.
Nice.
And as I said, as my missus likes to say, we saw Metal Mickey at the club. It was at the Tivoli in Buckley. Mickey came down to see us. I saw him for the first time a few weeks ago. We went to see a band at the Tivoli, and my missus said, "Yeah, I remember back in the '80s where we went to see this band." And said the bloke came on and he had this big, like he looked like a monk and he had this big fuzzy hair. And he went, yeah, that was Candlemass. And it's like, but seeing them live, doing it with the high range of the vocals, the slowness and the heaviness. So I think they were on Ancient Dreams then. So he was just still have that heaviness and it just I've loved it ever since. And then recently, I've the past sort of 5, 6, 7 years. I really heavily got back into the Death Doom stuff. Obviously, back in the, back in the day, there was the Peaceful Boys, but I hadn't returned back to it for quite some time. So just got back into the proper the Death Doom stuff. So,
okay, so I should have asked the other third question. We'll come back to that in a minute, but like what was the band that got you into it? Candlemass, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Greg, I'm gonna pull you up quick, and you've been doing this a long time, mate. You've been doing it a long time, right? And you're, as weird as it probably sounds, you amongst a couple of other bands, we talked about this in our interview. You were one of the OGs with the Funeral Doom thing. But what is it about Doom that maybe sets it apart from some of the other metal genres, as far as from your viewpoint?
Well, I think basically it's the emotions in Doom is different. It's much more in sorrowful vein. It's much more melancholy. It's not a lot of metal is fast tempo, and particularly in the late 80s, early 90s, bands were getting faster and faster, and Doom was kind of going in the opposite direction, getting slower and more extreme. I think for me, it's just the sadness in the style of music is always something that's very much resonated in me personally, and something that I've found very, very close to kind of the kind of music that I like to hear. I mean, I like all genres anyway, to be honest, but there's just something about Doom that really touches the heart, I suppose.
Yeah, I would think most all of us on this panel are music nerds of the highest order. We all love metal. We probably all love other genres. I know I do. I know Rick does. I know Johnny Mac does. We did a thing on Fish and Marillion. So we're all kind of into, and I find too with metalheads, they tend to be the most diverse in terms, most, not all metalheads, but most seem to be more into being open to other genres. And so that's a good point there. What was the band that you recall really kind of maybe as being the one that pulled you in?
I would say the band that got me into Doom was actually Autopsy. It was the slow parts of the really slow parts of Mental Funeral and Severed Survival. Those kind of albums that really kind of got me more interested in Doom.
That's cool. I'm glad you said that, because we're all going to probably be pulling a lot of the same albums. It'll just be interesting, or the bands rather, but it'll be interesting to see if we pick the same albums by those bands. You know what I mean? I think there will be some outliers, and I know Rick was going to make it his mission not to choose anything that everybody else was. He told me that. But I was like, fuck you. I'm choosing a lot of the stuff that absolutely has to be there because I'm fucking old. And it's the stuff that got me there. So, Rick, your turn to tell me what was your band. And Liam, real quick, just what was your band that sucked you in?
It would be Black Sabbath. Would be the very first Doom band I ever heard.
There you go. All right, Rick. Sorry.
No. I just want to say, you guys overseas, when we Americans say "fuck you," we mean a very generous appreciation. There's just it's a different understanding here. You know,
I don't usually mean that, but go ahead.
now
Anyway.
they say bless you. That's another conversation. Doom metal. Man, I mean, you guys brought up a lot of the same kind of feelings that I have towards kind of how I got into it. So I brought something you guys might appreciate regarding this question, and it's an actual thing that makes up the ingredients of what Doom is. Right here.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I knew he'd do something like this. I just
Come on, me. See,
Christian facts.
serving
What's
size
it
4
say?
hours.
What's it
Greg
say?
will know something about 4 hours.
What's it say? Pain, torment, suffering, agony, doom. That's awesome, man. We got to get one of those for Greg.
Oh, he loves it. There's Missy. So it says the very tiny text. % daily values are based on an average doom metal diet. Your daily values may vary based on the amount of pain and suffering inflicted on others. Just saying.
Works for me, man. Works for me.
Doom to me, you know, it doesn't have to be all impending and dreadful. You know, I know I tend to hop on that term a lot for some things, but I picked some stuff tonight, and like you were saying, Jeff, I didn't. So the only spoiler I'm going to give you is I didn't pull any of the Peaceville 3 material.
Oh, I did.
But and that's your criteria. Everybody has their criteria. So the reason I went with this criteria is because we're on an island, right?
And let me just interrupt 1 second, Greg.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is when everyone's talking, when you're not talking, I'm going to mute you. Do you mind?
No, sure, yeah,
You can
that's
still
better.
hear. What's going on is the phone's picking up something out there, and it's kind of regurgitating it back at me. So I'll keep an eye on when we get to you. And then if you want to chime in, just unmute yourself, okay? All right, go ahead, Rick.
All good. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah. Anyway, criteria. Okay, criteria of what we chose. Some of these albums we've listened to so many times. It's so burned in our memory. You know what I mean? So if it was ever yanked away, you know, we lived it. You know, we experienced the album inside and out wholeheartedly. And some of the picks that I've done here is a little more of a rounded rotation. It might be a cool, challenging demonstration of where the lines are of what we consider doom, not doom. Because you guys mentioned, you know, the mighty Black Sabbath, right?
That's a good point. And
it's evolved quite a lot over the years. There was a lot of derivatives. I did a stream on 420 on stoner bands, and that is definitely one area where people are particular about picking. Like they all sound like Black Sabbath. They all sound like Sleep or whatever, you know, you want to attach to it. So since we're a little more general here tonight, I went a little more, I guess, liberal with this. So it should make for a nice stream, and it'll keep us from having too much crossover. I like crossing the streams with some things, but sometimes, you know, doing it too much in one stream like this may not be so fun. And crossing the streams, you know, here or maybe the restroom, it's not always the best areas to go do that.
Well, we're going to be good. And I did mention the guys, like, for example, I picked some Peaceville 3 bands, actually all 3, but I may not have picked the same ones that Liam did. And if I did, if we get too many, like if there's more than 2 of us that picked, I don't know, whatever. Greg mentioned Autopsy Metal Funeral. That's a honorable mention for me for a couple reasons. He mentioned the atmosphere, and also, you know, it's maybe more of a death metal album, but it's got some serious fucking doom in it, man, like serious doom. So
yeah,
that's for me. If we had 3 of us pick that, then I'd be like, okay, well. So I pulled some extras in terms of, you know, maybe I'll switch one up and I'll go last so I can do that. So, yeah, for me, you know, you guys all hit it. The doom thing is just the dreariness, the way it makes me feel emotionally. It makes me feel melancholic, longing, sad, and I like those feelings. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a happy person. What am I saying? Generally, I'm not a happy person. Generally, I'm full of hate. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, I generally am a pretty okay, happy dude that, you know, as long as I'm not triggered by a few things, I'm usually a pretty upbeat dude, and I'm positive. However, my music, man, most of my music that I listen to is shit that makes me feel right here, man. I could feel it. And that's what doom does to me. It makes me feel it hard. I don't necessarily, when I'm listening to thrash or death metal, it's a different kind of vibe. It's more of a vitriolic, aggro sort of feeling. Doom doesn't do that to me. It makes me feel heavy. It makes me feel connected emotionally to being a human being. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. So yeah, that's my thing. And for me, obviously, Sabbath, since I'm an old fuck, was the first Doom. I consider them the godfathers, the proto Doom band, and I think most people will. And yeah, I've got some Sabbath, so we'll see where that goes. But that's kind of it. I think for the questions. Are you guys ready to get rocking and rolling on our choices? All good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greg, I'm gonna let you go first. You're like, oh shit, not me. But yeah, I'd like you to start us off and hit us hard, man. Hit us hard.
Okay, so I'd say one of the first Doom bands that I got into would be Unholy, the second Ring of Power. Maybe not one of the first actually, but one of the important Doom bands. And I don't think they're that well known nowadays because they've been. I mean, they're well known, but they've been split up for a long time.
You're talking about the Finnish band, right?
Yeah, the Finnish band. It's more like a black metal influenced Doom, but it is very slow. It's very melancholic. It's very dark. And I would say the second Ring of Power for me was their best album. Songs like Procession of Black Doom, Languish for Bliss, the second Ring of Power. They were just epic songs, very intense. You've got the bit of aggression there as well, not just the melancholy. And they're also quite diverse. And they're also good musicians. It's not just simple, straightforward music. And that's something that really drew me into their music.
What's the one with like the totems on the front? It's like a statue, Gollum statue or something.
Oh, the artwork?
Yeah, on the artwork.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know.
Marty will know who it is. I forget the name of that album. That's the one I'm most familiar with. And I think Marty's in here from Heavy Metallurgy. They did an Unholy album club thing. Marty, you can mention that in the chat. I forget the name of the band. That's a band I need to grab some more stuff of. So Unholy, good choice. I doubt any of the rest of us have that one. So Liam, you ready?
You ready for mine? Let's go. So I've gone with Germans Ahab with their second album. What's this one called? I can't remember anymore. The Divinity of Oceans. This is my favorite album by them by a mile. I mean, the first one's really good. But this one has got a fucking massive guitar tone on it. And these guys, I saw these guys live at a festival. I chose them over Cannibal Corpse because I thought these guys are going to be different. They're going to be more interesting. And they really are. They got like this massive like wall of sound. And it's one of the, obviously esoteric, but Funeral Doom wise, these guys as well are just crushing. And the soundscapes they use and the layers they use with the guitar harmonies and the clean vocals and the super guttural vocals, they just do everything. And like the drums, you got proper full on double kick drums, and then you go into kind of like really minimalistic bits. It's just got everything. It's just an absolute monster of an album.
Yeah. Now, Greg, you did the mastering on the last album, right? Or the last two?
For Ahab?
For Ahab.
No, I just did a guest vocal on the last album.
Oh, you did a guest vocal. I thought you did some of the production work.
I think this one is mastered by Marcus Stock of Imperium.
Okay.
He's the guy behind the mastering for this one, I think, by memory.
Great choice. Hey, Johnny Mac, it's you that's the problem, my friend, again with the audio. So I just figured it out by jumping around. We were still getting a lot of stuff. So I'm going to have to mute you in between steps or spots, okay? But you're up next, so I'll bring you up. And for some reason, it's doing that thing that it did last time.
Oh, okay.
So
no worries.
It's your turn, though.
Right. Well, I will try and do something a bit different. With my channel, I like to promote as much Welsh bands and shit like that anyway. And there's not a lot of Welsh Doom, if I'm honest. But luckily, I live in Wrexham, which is in North Wales, and there's a band that have been going for a few years now, and this is the album that came out last year. And the band are, well, they're currently called MWWB, which is Mammoth Weed Wizard Bastard. Sorry.
Very British sounding name there.
So that's the inside of the cover.
Cool looking.
Nice and doomy. But yeah, now this is I think their fourth album. The first two or three of them had Welsh titles, so luckily this one's just called The Harvest, so it makes it a lot easier for most non-Welsh people. Yeah, because they're a local band, I had to mention them. And as I said, these are your full-on doom stroke stoner stroke psych progressive. They fit all of them. There's not a lot of death in here, I must admit, but I can't have death metal in everyone, so I decided I should have a stoner type band in here, and I wasn't going to go for all the usual ones because I presume other people might pick one of them. So
cool. So what's the name again? Mammoth what is?
Yeah, Mammoth Weed Wizard Bastard.
Oh, Weed Wizard Bastard. Okay, now
Yes.
it's making. I thought you said Mammoth Weed, like small. Weed.
Like,
what the fuck?
Sometimes we say when you have a piss, you say you have a wee as well, but it's not
Exactly.
that.
We have a weed, right? Or I was just thinking maybe when they smoke the weed, they get really small, man. Like that's
No, it's a Weed Wizard Bastard.
nice.
So yeah, this is good stuff. They're quite cool because they got female vocalist as well, which you don't get often in doomy stuff.
Yeah, you don't.
But they've still got the heavy lifts, but there's lots of keyboard and strings and stuff in it. You know, there's a track on here called "Let's Send These Bastards Whence They Came," which is just great, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, really good. Just thought I'd show something Welsh, so there you go. That's my first one, and I'm trying to pick stuff. I've obviously got a lot of the old classics, but I thought I'd chuck in a few new ones. Because I was telling Liam, and Liam went, "Oh, you can't have new stuff." I went, "Well, I can because
say that.
Yes, you did."
I didn't say that.
He didn't, to be fair. No, he said it's not he didn't see it as that's the sort of thing. But for me, if I'm on a desert island, I listened to that hell of a lot last year, and I'm still listening to it now, and the next couple that I'm going to show. So I'm going to show a few newer albums, and then we'll go back to the classics, and everybody go, "Oh yeah, boring." But I just thought I'd show something because it's music, and if you like music and you listen to it a lot, some things just hit you and they hit you hard.
Yeah.
It's just different, and I've not heard a lot like it. So if you want something that is a little bit trippy, a little bit progressive, but still got some lifts in it and some gorgeous female vocals, I suggest checking it out. That's me done.
Cool beans. Ricardo Montalban, sir.
Montalban's my dad. I'm just Rick or just Dreadful.
All right, just dreadful.
Anyway.
Dreadful Montalban. What are you gonna pull out of your rabbit's hat?
First of all, good choice, John. I like that band too. I pulled stuff with female vocalists too. Doom metal's all inclusive, you know. So I'm actually going to piggyback off of Greg here. He picked an old bombastic classic, and this band that I pulled has more of the more known as a black metal band, or what you call dark metal type of band, and from Germany. So this is their debut album, Dark Metal by Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, yeah.
And they're not traditionally looked at as like a doom band. This particular release right here, came out, what was it, 1994, something like that. And this is probably the only tape I'm going to show tonight. But I think this is probably in a pile if you're getting into doom and you want to explore all different kinds of styles. This is definitely something that's pretty much out there, and it's kind of experimental because it doesn't fit neatly into the mold of something like Candlemass or Sabbath. It's not even anywhere in that camp. As a matter of fact, there's more black metal type vocals happening here at the same time, but there's also very stretched out, atmospheric, and very, very doomy moments in this. This has more of the leanings to me of a doom album than something like, let's say, because right after this, their sound would change right away. And they would move into that sort of that depressive territory of things. So And that's the thing we were trying to describe Doom earlier about how it makes you feel and stuff like that, you know, and it's the feeling of, you know, dread and, you know, the impending thing and, you know, feeling condemned. And this has those kind of leanings there too. It's got some long tracks, you know, really, really nice experimentation here, but it doesn't fall to that depressive thing like they did do later on, or go full out black metal like they did on their later releases. Also, this is the only one with their original vocalist who was on this, Andreas Klassen, and he will move on after this album, which I think is one of the reasons why their sound changed, you know, and just kind of just how they, and this is the band is always moving and expanding and evolving anyway, and doing all kinds of different stuff. But this particular release right here, it's to me is an essential classic, and not brought up often enough. I don't think you know, that I see around.
Cool. What's
Really
the name of the album one more time?
Just dark metal.
From Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, yep. Out of Germany.
Germany. Cool. Very cool. Before I forget, because I tend to do that a lot, I want to point people to the two, not one, but two interviews that Greg and I did back in, I think, January, right, Greg? I think it was January. Mm-hmm. We did almost 4.5 hours worth of interviews, and Greg was a saint. And for a long time, those two, or for a very long time, until last night, in fact, those two interviews put together were the longest interview that I've done. And poor Greg, he was just like, man, when is this guy going to shut the fuck up? But it is a really fantastic insight into the albums, into Esoteric, into Greg as a person and an artist. And I will link them. I forgot to, but I'm going to link them in the description after we're done here tonight. However, Greg, I regret to inform you that you are no longer the longest interview that I did.
That's okay.
You have lost that to Luke LeMay last night from Gorguts.
Oh, cool.
Greg and, Luke and I did a 4 hour and 36-minute interview last night. And I think Luke can probably out-talk me, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, but anyway. So look, guys, you know, call me old, call me lazy, call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. This is the album that started it. I mean, you can argue that the first Black Sabbath album, you know, obviously the song Black Sabbath is probably the template for all doom metal. However, the rest of the album, the debut Black Sabbath album, it's got a lot of blues, and it's a lot of bluesy-ish sort of songs. The Wizard, fucking killer track, but it's very bluesy, man. This, the guys were on their A game to take it to the next level of darkness and evilness. You got Sweet Leaf, man. Da-da, da-da-da. You know, it opens up with the cough. I mean, come on, man. You got Into the Void, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da, da-da. Fucking heavy as shit. Symptom of the Universe, that chug. Oh, man. Lord of the Universe. Come on, man. This is the granddaddy OG of doom metal. Any arguments?
Not from me.
No.
No one's going to
argue that. Is that Sabbath's best album, though? Is that their doomiest album?
That's not my favorite album. My favorite is Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. But that's because I like the proggy vibe. But I mean, let's be honest. Can you really go wrong with any one of the first 5 Sabbath albums? Maybe the 6th even?
Yeah.
Probably the first 5. I mean, with the exception of Paranoid. I never want to hear Paranoid the rest of my entire life that I'm here, which who knows, you know. But yeah, so yeah, anybody want to comment on the first round of stuff that we went through there?
He laid the template, man. Iommi, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and he was tuning to C, or was it C sharp? C sharp, I think. You know, which nobody was really doing that. And the reason he was doing that, you guys probably all know this, but the reason he was doing it was because of the string tension, because of his fingers that he had chopped the tips off. It was easier for him to play that.
On my arm was Tony Iommi's guitar.
Oh yeah, let me see. Hold on.
Can you see it? I don't know if you can. My phone.
Oh shit, yeah.
There it is.
That's killer. Nah, that's so cool.
So I had that done when I was 21. That's how much he inspired me.
Nice.
That's dedication, man.
Yeah, it hasn't helped though. I'm still shit, but there you go.
Well, you know what's funny? The very first thing Greg said when he hopped here is he hurt his finger. You know, and I'm thinking of Iomi and
Bit of finger, my friends. All right, Greg, we're gonna go back to you for choice number 2.
Okay, so second one, I think, for me was that was very significant was Cathedral's first album and first demo, Forest of Equilibrium, first album, and In Memoriam was the first demo. And I would say Ebony Tears probably was one of the standout tracks for me on that because it was just so slow and it was very heavy. Cathedral were one of the heaviest bands of that era, I would say.
Yeah.
So I think for me that was one of the bands that also really kind of got to me
Rick
at the time.
Rick showing off for you. Showing off. Now, that I don't know about you guys, but the one thing that I struggle with always, and I cannot get past, I just can't get past Lee Dorian's vocals, man. I've tried. They're so fucking bad. I can't take them. I just cannot take them. And I've tried, man. I've had Cathedral CDs. I've gotten rid of them because I can't fucking deal with his voice.
Jeff, I got a question for you. If you were stuck on a desert island, you had to choose one for a companion, Lee Dorian or Dave Mustaine.
Oh,
They have a lot of IP.
I think Lee Dorian probably seems like a lot cooler dude. So, because Dave Mustaine's a fucking jerk off. He's a great guitar player, but he's a jerk off, and our politics probably don't mix anymore. So, yeah, I'm going with Lee Dorian. I'm just gonna ask him not to sing at night. You know, please, Lee, don't try to sing me to sleep, mate. I'm not there. All right, so Forest of Equilibrium, that's a great choice, Greg. Where was I at? Liam, you are up, sir.
Okay, so I'm going for a proper sad boy album this time.
Oh, boy.
This is one that you're allowed to cry to.
Good.
And that is Warning's Watching from a Distance.
Yeah.
This one came out in 2006, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I fucking love this album. This is a proper sad boy album. So when you're feeling really miserable and you want to try and convey those emotions, this is the album I always go to. Because his voice on it, I think his name's Patrick, is it? I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
He's got an amazing voice. And with Doom, normally the harmonies is what captures the emotion. But on this album and it's this band, his voice is what really emulates all those sorrowful emotions you get with Doom. And it's just such a well-crafted album. And every single song on this album, it just takes you and it keeps you there. You know, you don't get bored. There's no, you don't think about riffs or anything like that. It's just all about the vocals and how sad and miserable. And, it's just a beautiful album. So, yeah, that would be my pick.
What, he has another band, right? Is that the dude that has 40 Watt Sun?
40 Watt Sun is the other one. Yeah, I'm not too keen on that band.
Which I kind of like them.
Walker,
They're kind of Cure-like, but I've known about that album right there, Warning, forever. I've yet to check it out.
You need to. This is an absolute diamond. Yeah. Absolutely love this album.
I think that's CJ's favorite album, right, Rick?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, he fucking loves that album.
The only reason I didn't pull that album for an island stream is I would just end up killing myself. I wouldn't be on an island.
I don't like doing that on the stream. Then I'll have to feel guilty, and I won't. And then it'll just be a trip thing, head trip. All right, Johnny Mac, I'm gonna unmute you. Hang on a sec here and bring you on, and go for it, mate.
Well, I'm gonna mix mine about a bit because I was gonna go for that as well.
Okay.
Now this is the double CD one, which has got the DVD with it that Earache were putting out, and it actually has got the Soul Sacrifice EP on CD with it. So I thought if I'm on a desert island, I'd get double the amount of Cathedral.
More bang for the buck, right?
But as I said, if we want to go different, I can do this. I can do the second one. I'm happy with that. The Ethereal Mirror. First two Cathedral albums I fucking love, and the EP obviously. After that, I can't be asked. I like Lee Dorian. I honestly don't get why people say they don't like his voice. I don't think it suited Napalm Death, if I'm honest, but that's just me. But I quite like him in Cathedral. Well, at least the first two albums, anyway. I think it suits it. But yeah, they were so heavy. And as I said, the interviews actually. This has got the DVD, and it's got the interview with them in a pub, and they were saying, because obviously they were touring and stuff with Napalm and all that, and they just wanted to play slower, and that's what they wanted. They wanted slower and heavier, and it was almost like an anti to all the extreme bands that were out at the time. And I just appreciated them. I saw them a few times back in the day, and just thought they were really, really good. So I've got to have some Cathedral, I must admit. It just got to be there.
That's all right. That's fine. I mean, like I said, is if every one of us pulled that album, that would be, you know. But now you've got two, so anybody else, you know, I don't have it. I guarantee you, I don't have that one. So
I know Liam doesn't either because I've seen his list.
There we go. So Rick already
changed
said he was out. So all righty, we're gonna pull Rick up. Ricardo, actually, Rick Tracy is what I'm gonna call you the rest of the night. So.
All right.
What you got?
Okay, so I know Marty's on, and his partner in crime. They're doing heavy metallurgy tonight. They're talking about robots, but I figured let me catch them before they go do that thing, because Alan, Let's Talk Metal, did a thing, and I wanted to use this platform to thank him, which will make sense. So the release I pulled was, which that's my favorite album by this band, and they're a classic doom band. They're actually on the U.S. side one of the first doom bands ever. You know, maybe not as old as Sabbath, but almost there. I'm talking about Pentagram.
There we go.
Be forewarned. This right here brings out those feelings in me, and you know, Bobby is a dreadful guy. we can all admit that. And I think here, this is my favorite lineup with the band. And right here, I think they were firing on all cylinders. His vocal performance, I think it's one. I think his best, in my opinion, during this particular period. Right after this, most of the members end up leaving, and you know, I think it was just between him and who's the other guy? You know,
Victor?
yeah. You know, some people might pull their first one, right? What is it? The self-titled, which I think would also be just as. I love that one too. But I think right here, and it came out in the 90s. I think it was what 92, something like that. I don't remember the exact year. Really, really, really good stuff. I got a funny tidbit for you guys to make a Sabbath connection. So, the original drummer for Pentagram, his name was Steve Martin. And yeah, so I looked around. I actually tried Googling, is this the actor at one point? Did he try a different career path at some point? Which is not that Steve Martin. But anyway, the reason he didn't stick around with the band was because they said he had too much of a jazzy style drumming. When you think of Bill Ward, they must not have heard of Bill Ward at the time. I don't know, or George Miller's drumming. But as you guys know, Sabbath's drummer had a bit of that kind of style going on, you know, which kind of made them unique in their own little way, in the way kind of Bill did all the you know, all the fills and stuff like that. So these guys kind of went on in a different kind of direction. I just thought there was a weird twist of fate kind of going on there on the other side of the world while these guys were doing their thing. So anyway, Alan sent me a VCLT. So he sent me a little box, and I didn't have the heart to tell him. Like at the time, it showed up around the holidays, and I misplaced the box. I couldn't find it at some point. I was like, shit. So I recently found the box and saw what was in there, and my jaw dropped because he sent me a 7-inch. We were on a stream one night, and I showed this, which was the First Days Here. And, you know, there is an edition that came out in 2002 that included the Macabre 7-inch. So Pentagram used to be called Macabre at one point.
Right.
And this is the original 7-inch. So, well, this is not the OG one. This is the one that they threw in the 2002. So the copy that I had did not include the 7-inch. Only the 2002 pressing did. They stopped doing that. I mentioned at one point. And Alan, out of the goodness of his heart, sent the 7-inch my way, which is going for a good bit of money.
Sweet.
And it includes Be Forewarned, which is the OG version, which has had more of a garage kind of sound to it. Was a lot more raw than the one on this album, which is a lot. There's a lot more, just a lot more dynamic, which is, it still has that sort of very fuzzy kind of sound to it. And there are some moments where he does have that sort of Ozzy-esque thing with his vocals. But it's really cool to have both versions. There's also another track here called Lazy Lady. So even included the adapter.
Nice.
Alan, thank you so much. I wasn't sure if I was going to find that box. I did. And thank you for this. So I thought I'd use this and give you a shout out. But yeah,
Cool.
Pentagram.
Nice. Pentagram. I don't have any Pentagram, and I don't really know them, although really well, but I know Bobby's story. I watched that documentary that guy did, and I've seen some live stuff, and he's certainly a character, let's put it that way. And he's when he's healthy, which is not often.
Well, you look at those photos of him in the 70s, man. Like, you wonder how much blow that guy did.
Yeah, I just, I look at a guy like him and I'm like, how the fuck is this guy still alive? Like, he just shouldn't be, But
yeah, he's the Keith Richards of metal. I don't know. He's just still around.
All righty. Well, in keeping with the of course he's gonna pick the obvious shit. My first Peaceville 3 band, probably. Just thinking here, hang on. Probably my favorite band for a couple reasons. One is they didn't stay completely locked into one sort of dimension. Neither did the other two, but this band probably changed the most. And I do like their progression from this era. And my favorite album by them. I also really like when they transitioned into the progressive metal sort of thing with Alternative 4 and Judgment, and then A Fine Day to Exit. They've just put out some great albums. And as you can see, Fanboy me got Danny and Vince to sign when they actually opened up for Steven Wilson project called Blackfield. They did Danny, and they were supposed to come up over as a band, a full band, but something happened with the visas, and it was just Danny and Vince, and they did an acoustic thing. I think at that point they were doing We're Here Because We're Here, which is very different from this. Very, very different. But, man, this is a Doom fucking classic, guys. I just love this album. It's so dark, and Vince, his vocals are really, he does a great, clean, but deathy sort of clean vocal. And, I just fucking love this album, man. Songs like Restless Oblivion, man, with that chorus where he's like, no more rata died. It's just so cool. You got The Silent Enigma, obviously, is a killer track. You've got Sleepless, man. Sleepless is so fucking good. Man, I just love this album. And so, yeah, the first of the Peaceville 3. I love all their albums for the most part. And I do like the Darren White stuff like Serenades and Pentecost, which I had Pentecost here as a second in case someone grabbed this. A bunch of you guys did this one. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about thoughts on those choices by everyone. Anybody got some things they want to say regarding some of the choices we made there? Okay. Yep, Serenades.
Yeah, that's an honourable mention for me. It's not in my. That was the one that I didn't choose, but I just had to mention it because it's fucking brilliant.
Great album. That was one of my two that I threw to the side. I pulled Pentecost though because it's a little more doomy for me, but yeah, killer stuff. What's that, Rick?
I first heard Sleepless not through an Anathema themselves. It was through this single they put out by Cradle. I loved it. They
covered it?
Yeah. It's a pretty good cover too. Doing it their Cradle way. But but it's I jammed it, loved it. I didn't know it was a cover at the time. Until I went back and listened to those Anathema albums, I'm like, sounds oddly familiar. I'm thinking, who came up with it first? It was them, of course. But yeah, so yeah, this one here is a little hard to find now. But if you could find it, it's actually a good little EP. And includes.
Yeah, on the topic of of Anathema, I really, really like the sweet spot of the Duncan Patterson years. I think Duncan is just, Danny's an incredible writer, and Vince blossomed as a writer too. But fucking man, Duncan Patterson just wrote some of the gloomiest, doomiest songs they've ever done, man. Like on Alt 4, just fucking, and on Eternity, the album Eternity, man, there's so many gorgeous songs he did. So yeah, really, really love that band, big time. Okay, Greg, you ready for number 3?
Sure.
All right. Any thoughts on Anathema?
It's a
yeah, they're a great band. Band that I really liked. I didn't go for them because out of the Peaceful 3, they were probably my least favorite out of the Paradise Lost and My Dying Bride. So I'm going to opt for My Dying Bride now, actually.
Cool.
And I'm not going to go for the first album. I'm going to go for the first thing that I heard by them, which was their first EP, Symphonia Infernus Espera Imperium. And that particular song off that EP was, it's over 10 minutes long. It's a very good song. It's the first Doom band that featured violins that I discovered. Doom Death, really. And just very emotional song, and really, really kind of touched the heartstrings for me. And I also saw them live quite a few times back then in the early 90s, and just found them to be a great band. Good people as well.
Did you ever play with them?
No, we've never played a show with them, no.
Now that song, Symphonaire, I hear some inklings of Esoteric in there.
Uh-huh.
I hear just a wee bit of maybe some crossover influence there. Am I wrong, or am I right, or am I off?
Possibly, yeah. I would say our stuff was a little bit more aggressive, a bit slower, and yeah, possibly, very possibly. I think our influences were probably a little bit earlier than that, because we started pretty soon after My Dying Bride. But yeah, it's certainly possible.
Cool. I mean, I just the complexity of that song with a lot of layers. That's the song that on that EP that has a lot of layers. And yeah, I'm not doing exactly what you did, but I'm doing something close to what you did next. So we'll go from there. Good choice. Liam.
It's me, is it? Okay, let's go. So we're going to Russia now, everyone's favorite country at the moment. And it is the band Scold. If you've heard of these guys, these are an epic doom band from the early 90s. They weren't around for long because their vocalist, I think, got hit by a car or something like that, and then they called it a day after that. But this album, it's very raw. It's very much in the vein of Candlemass, and the vocals, because obviously English isn't their first language, it's kind of a bit quirky, but I really like it. He's got a great voice. The production's very lo-fi, it's very demo-esque, but this album has got so many great riffs on it, the harmonies, the emotions in it, and that's one of these ones I always go back to. Every year I'll revisit this album. You know, this is a special edition one, so the actual cover doesn't look like this by memory. But yeah, a fucking amazing band that no one really talks about. I mean, I know they've reformed a few years ago and they are going again.
Give us the name again.
Scold.
Skold?
No, Scald.
Oh, Scold, like the. Okay, got it.
But yeah, a really, really cool album. I think they put a 7-inch out maybe a year or two ago with some new music on it. But this is the album to check out if you've never checked it out. It's called Will of the Gods Has Great Power. So very power metal-esque album title. But yeah, an amazing band. Amazing band.
Cool. Thanks, Marty. Thanks for popping in. If you think of it, point people to the Luke LeMay and Greg Chandler interviews. They're really worth watching. Appreciate it, man. Have a good stream. We'll see you later. And we got Peter in here, who would have been perfect for this, but he's in Ireland, and long story short, I didn't want to overload things so it goes too long tonight. But Peter really knows his black metal, his doom metal. He's a great resource. We'll do this.
An encyclopedia of heavy metal.
He is, man. He's fucking amazing. That's a good one for everyone there. Where am I at? Let's see. I am at Johnny Mac. What you got, Johnny Mac? Number 3.
Okie dokie. Well, I'm not going to get to the Peaceville 3 yet. So I'm going to go to another new album that came out last year. That was my album of the year last year. And I fucking love it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. It is good, isn't it? I believe, so I've been told it's pronounced A-R, as if it was a TH, but it's hard, Take Up My Bones. This is just epic. Now, it's a one-man project. That's the guy, obviously. That's why he's put his fucking picture on there. You wouldn't otherwise, would you? Guy is Mark Deeks, and he is the keyboard player from Winter Filler, who are the UK black metal band. And this is just absolutely stunning. It is a solo album. It's, well, as you can see, there's tons of, you can see the monks on the front. There's lots of chanting on it. It's just a beautiful album. Really is awesome. And it just, as I said, it blew me away last year. And I was listening to it earlier this week. I listened to it once every couple of months, I think, since it came out. It's
now, is that a photograph or is that a painting?
I think it's a painting. Well, like a drawing. It's like it's almost like a pencil drawing.
It's got a little bit of a philosophism sort of vibe to it.
It has, yeah.
It's a concept album, isn't it?
It is a concept album because he's from Northumbria, isn't it? And it's all to do with kings and all that sort of stuff. And do you know the story, Liam?
It's to do, by memory, it's to do with St. Cuthbert and when they took his coffin over to a certain island up that way. And it's about that story of that and how they resurrected him or some shit like that. I can't remember.
That's it. I did see some stuff on it, but yeah, I listened to this album so much.
Where are they from again? Where are they from?
They're from the UK, from Northumbria. And as I said, he's the keyboard player.
Newcastle, I think.
Winter Filler.
Yeah, Newcastle way, yes. Yeah.
What was that, Greg?
Newcastle, Mark from Newcastle, yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
So, yeah, absolutely brilliant. Really good. It was album of the year for me last year. That just blew pretty much everything away.
I got to check that one out. That sounds good. Rick, you ready?
Did you do the mastering for that one, by the way?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Thought you did. Great album. Good work.
Yeah, great guy as well.
Yeah, sound. Should be catching him supporting Stormkeep in Manchester, I think. I think he's playing, and I think he's doing double duty because I think Winterfell are playing as well in August.
I think as well.
That's right, yeah.
He's got Aaron from My Dying Bride doing vocals with it.
That's in Huddersfield, I think.
Huddersfield, okay.
Yeah. I think that's June. That's in June.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Next month, yeah.
Say that again. So that band that you were just showing, John, they're opening for Stormkeep?
They are, yeah, in August.
All over the UK or what?
Yeah, in the UK, in Manchester, just in Manchester. It's like a one-day black metal festival, but he's playing, and I just.
So he's a one-man project, but he's got other guys that are going to play live with him.
Yeah,
he has the vocalist from Winter Filler do guitar duty as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
They actually, some of them recorded with him as well on the album.
Oh, nice.
Really good.
Cool.
As I said, it's just so emotive. There's something about it. It's. I think the chanting helps. It's, like the Gordian monks sort of thing. It's just absolutely stunning album. It just blew me away because I've not heard anything like it for a long time.
I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor tomorrow because you guys are going to be late. Send me your list then of the bands and the albums so I can post them on the actual in the description so people can go hunt them down then. I think that'd be beneficial to everybody. Rick, you ready?
You're going to spoil the stream. No.
Well, no, they might want to hear us talk about the albums, don't you think?
All right.
Hey, man, it's my fucking channel. I do what I want to do.
Yeah, John, I think that might be my next buy. I've been eyeballing that thing for a while. So, yeah. Basically, what you said. I'm convinced. So my next pick was going to be we're going to cross over, but I'm taking this opportunity to kind of swap. But I thought I add a little bit to what Liam showed with Scald, because I was going to pull this.
There you go. Yeah.
Will of the Gods, it's Great Power. Yeah, the vocalist was Agio, and he died from a railroad accident. This, and just to add what Liam had here. So again, the one only album came out in, I believe it was 97, and this is kind of like the vocalist took a lot of cues from Manowar. So it's so if you guys were wondering what Scald are like, it's kind of imagine Bathory with Manowar wrapped in a Doom funnel.
I've never looked at it like that. Yeah.
That's kind of how I would describe their sound. It's really good stuff, and this is why I picked it for the Doomed Island, because it's just something I can put on over and over. It's really good and just very epic and glorious and all that stuff.
What's the name again, Rick?
Scald. SCALD.
Scald. Okay.
It's a
So we
brilliant
got
album.
Scald and Scald.
Yeah. So to add to that, since the band disbanded after his death, they since reformed, and they got a new vocalist. His name is Felipe, from Chile, and he's actually in some two amazing bands coming out of Chile. So I'm gonna swap that for Capella Ardiente.
Oh, that's a brilliant album as well. Yeah.
This is their latest. The stage came out in 2019, and this is if you're looking for something like Candlemass, Alto and Tardes, and something from like the South American side, these guys are, I think, one of the best doing it right now. Did this also sings another band called Procession, which is another amazing band. But I'm gonna lean more towards this one for the island, just because it's just so good. But yeah, so
This was supposed to be a top 10. Rick's already shown 14 albums.
I was gonna go this. You noticed the word across
So-
adding it on there.
There will be no album or CD racks on the island unless you build your own. So just saying.
But yeah, good stuff. So again, if you look for something on the it's in English, so even though
By memory, it's quite thrashy as well in some parts, isn't it? That album.
they do go there
Yeah.
at times, so they're not like a clone.
No.
The Swedish guys and whatnot. Just a quick pick up the band if you're wondering. There you go.
I need to get that.
Really, really good stuff. Totally up your alley. I think you will love this.
Cool. I was going to show one that I'm going to wait because I need to look up what the shit. All right. Hold on a minute. All right, we're going to get this over with now. We're just going to do this. We're going to get the gratuitous ass kissing over with right now. Are you ready? Here it comes. If I can move myself into the... Come on, man. There we go. All right. So, back in 2002, 1, 2, somewhere in that range. I can't remember exactly. I actually, it goes back to 99. I became good friends with Steve Wilson from Porcupine Tree. And we traded off a lot of ideas on music, things that I was into that he wasn't aware of, and things that he was into that I wasn't aware of. And the one thing that he really influenced me on very early on was this funeral doom band from the UK. And I bought 2 of their albums. And I didn't actually pull the originals out, which I still have the originals from right around 2002, which I'm 99% sure I got from Aquarius Records out in San Francisco. But, man, when I got this stuff, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like crawling and sprawling and psychedelic and freaky and scary, and like, the vocalists sound deranged, and like I'm thinking I would never ever want to meet the guy behind these vocals because he's got to be a freak of some sort. So the band was this band called Esoteric, and the album is called The Pernicious Enigma. And somewhere along the line, man, it started to click, but it didn't really click until help me out, Greg. Disillusion continuum.
Subconscious dissolution, yeah.
Subconscious dissolution into the continuum. I kept buying this stuff thinking it's going to click, and then it clicked. And then I went back and went, man, what the hell was I thinking?
Wait, why would you assume Greg will know that answer?
I just assume he knows these guys. I think they're from Birmingham. I'm not sure, but I assume you know the. Have you heard of
My
these guys?
memory's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Have you heard of them? Are they? Is the singer kind of rough? I don't know. The singer seems like he might be a bit of an odd guy. I don't know, but anyway, no, man, this shit rules, and you know it rules. And this is, and thank you, by the way. This is the really sexy, beautiful digibook from Aesthetic Death, and Greg sent this to me. Really, really cherish these things that you sent me, Greg. This is just a fucking amazing album, and look no further than the track Dominion of Slaves, because that song, have you guys seen oh crap, help me out here, the Edward Norton book or Edward Norton movie, X, what's it called, where he plays the Nazi guy?
No idea.
Rick. Of course, Rick walks away right when I need him most.
Because you want me to say American History X.
American History X. Thank you. Yes. Have any of you guys seen that movie?
No.
With that, okay. There's a scene in there where, thank you. Yeah, there's a scene in there where they take a guy. There are a bunch of racists, and they take a guy and they put his jaw. They take a black man and they put him on the curb and they curb stomp him. Have you guys heard that term before?
Yeah, I've seen it. So you just reminded me.
Yeah, it's just an absolutely fucking horrific thing.
Yeah.
But this band right here, Esoteric, kind of curb stomps your fucking head over and over and over, and you begin to really like it. It's really cool. This is a banger of an album. I would also say Sinistrous and Passing Through Matter, three of my favorite Esoteric tracks. If you don't know this band, you really should know this band. All of their albums are fantastic. I almost picked another one, but I'm not going to say it in case someone else is going to pick it. But, Greg, you make some pretty cool tunes, man. Just saying. I don't know that you know these guys, but if you did, tell them they make pretty good music.
Have you ever seen them live, Jeff?
I have never seen them live except for on videos. I live over in the United States. They've only come over here once that I'm aware of, right, Greg?
Yeah.
And that was 2009?
2013. Yeah.
Okay. And did you just play a festival, or did you actually do a proper, like, couple date tour?
No, we did a tour. Yeah.
How many cities did you get in?
About 12.
Okay. And who were you with? You told me this. It's in the internet.
Vilnius and Saturnalia Temple.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
wish I'd have known about it. I didn't know about it. I guess I didn't have the internet in 2013. I'm lying. I just didn't know about it. I just didn't know about it. Had I known about it, I'd have been there. But
It was kind of low key DIY, but
yeah,
hopefully we'll return next year if things work out.
To work on that, right?
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. So yeah, the gratuitous ass kissing is over unless someone else picks Esoteric. Then there'll be more ass kissing. So there you go. Let's see. Greg, you're back up again for number 4.
Okay. So I think one of the very first extreme doom bands that I heard was Winter, and their album Into Darkness is pretty Celtic Frost influence, kind of doom death.
Yes.
And at the time it was very heavy, very psychedelic, and I mean, I didn't catch them when it first came out, but I caught them a couple of years later, and I was blown away by this album, by how heavy it was. And I have a very distinctive memory of listening to the album whilst having psychedelic experiences, and it really kind of blew me away.
Yeah, that's Winter Kills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one I should own, and I don't own it. It's just one of those. It's one of those things where you're like, why don't I have this album?
They're out of New York, I believe.
Yeah. They're not. They didn't reform, did they, or did they?
I
don't think so.
They did another band. The guy from that band formed a new band.
Okay.
I have got that band.
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Goda or something like that. Let me have a look.
Golden. Oh, yeah, that was one of the songs, I
Goda.
think.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. John has it. Oh, I'm sorry, John. Hang on.
Godin is the new
Come on.
version of them, isn't it?
God damn it, man. I'm having stress with my damn. There we go. Ah, there we go. Was that one of your picks, John?
It wasn't. I've just had to grab it now. I forgot all about him, if I'm brutally honest. But this is the box set thing that came out with like 2 albums in it and loads of shit. It's absolutely stunning. If you can grab hold of it. And Spark Records brought it out. Really good.
That's super cool.
They actually named
Is that still available?
It's still available, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
So
got,
you
the,
got like
the digibook version of that.
Oh fuck! I gotta get that. I gotta get
got
that.
that. It's got like a booklet with it with all
That's nice.
Oh, no.
Nice, though.
Who's that through?
adverts and shit. It's fucking ace. It really is awesome. And
What
then
label's
obviously
that
got
on?
the album
Every
itself.
issue.
I think it's lead vinyl. Could be, yeah, lead vinyl. So absolutely.
Johnny, what label's that on? That reissue?
Spart.
Spark.
SVART.
Yep. Makes sense. Okay, Liam, you're up. We'll get back to you in a minute there. Johnny, check your messenger. I sent you a message.
So,
Liam,
is it my go? Is it? Okay, you're all right. So this is my next pick. This is Norwegian's Funeral. I could have picked any of their albums really. They're all really good, but I went with this one, which is Oratorium. It's got a lot of hits on it. To say, a very catchy album. So these guys have been around since the early 90s. They recorded, I think, over here in the UK with My Dying Bride at one point. Very, very cool band. Very much a doom death band, and it kind of evolved into like a symphonic style with operatic female vocals for one album. And then they went full guttural, and then they went to so like a Norwegian accent, but sung with clean vocals. So it's got this kind of weird kind of tone to it. And I think on the latest album, it's all in Norwegian. So a really, really cool band. Really crushingly heavy. Like guitar tone is like fucking really low end. It's really deep. It's really heavy. You can compare these guys to My Dying Bride a lot. I think even 2 of the members of the band have committed suicide over the years as well. That's how miserable they are as well. Yeah.
And the band's name is Funeral, you said, right?
Literally called Funeral.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They're really,
check them out.
and their latest album I really enjoyed as well, which came out I think either last year or the year before. It's just they're really good musicians, and every single song on this one especially is an absolute banger. So yeah, Funeral.
Nice. Man, we're getting a lot of cool picks here, man. This is great. Johnny, you wanted to show something there. Hang on.
Yeah,
You're up anyways.
That's the
your
latest
newest
one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the latest one. It was going to be one of my honourable mentions.
Oh,
I must admit.
Love that artwork. That's killer.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a nice double album as well.
Yeah, I gotta check them out. That's one I got.
The annoying thing is my copy, the second disc, the hole in the middle is off center.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was real pissed about
That'd be killer. I must admit, I picked the next one I got. I'm going Funeral Doom as well. Depressive shit. I almost went Shape of Despair.
That's good.
Don't know if any other guys were going for it, but my pick, I think it's a bit ass kickery because I think it's one that Greg may have mastered. But what can you do? Look at that cover.
Man, that album is so good.
Crushing, isn't it? Absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah, we'll pull that one too.
Yep.
Yeah,
got it too, yeah.
One of the best
brilliant.
of the 2010s. If you look at the best
It was.
Funeral Doom albums of the past 10 years, I think that's up
I
there.
agree. Do you know this one, Greg?
I can't really see very well on my phone.
Yeah, it's called Atramentus.
Oh yeah, I know that very well. Yeah,
Fucking so good. Is that the dude that's in Cathedral?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's Phil.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it started as
One of the
solo,
guys, yeah.
as a solo project, and he took years working on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a couple years old now. How old's that? 4 years?
Yeah, it's a few years old now. I think late 2010s, 2019 maybe.
That's what I said.
2020.
Yeah.
He's Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Canadian. What's the name of it again? Stygian.
Stygian. Just called Stygian because there's Stygian 1, 2, and 3 of the songs.
Yeah, Johnny, that's a fucking banger of a pick right there. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I had to go. As I said, some of these are new, some are not. But I said that one, I just couldn't not pick it up, and it was a blind buy. I know nothing about it. I just saw the cover, and it just, because it's almost like the Bell Witch cover. Because I'm guessing it's the same guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not Lewandowski. What's is it Lewandowski?
Lewandowski.
Yeah, Marriott Lewandowski. It is, yeah. Lewandowski.
So he just died. I think he just died.
He did, yeah. He passed away. Was it last year?
Yeah, COVID, I think.
So, as I said, I had to pick that because
I get him confused with the other Polish guy that got killed by the young guy. Do you know who I'm talking about? He did artwork for Behemoth. Shit, I can't remember his name. Rick, you know it? No? You're muted, dude.
What was the question?
Who's that other Polish guy that's kind of like Lewandowski? Lewandowski did all the recent covers for all that stuff. Who's the other Polish dude, the Behemoth guy that got murdered? The one that got murdered.
Behemoth guy.
Somebody's gonna know it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm sure Peter will know it. He knows everything. So, all right, Rick, you're up, man. Yeah, you're up, Rick. Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Well, this is pretty easy because I'm gonna just piggyback off Jeff and assume you guys know who this band is. So this is one of those where I could have went with any album, but this one right here is the one I probably put on the most. It's another Esoteric.
That was the other one I was gonna pick.
Metamorphogenesis. Greg, there's only 3 tracks on this, but when I say only, these are dense, long. I mean, each track is progressively shorter than the other, but it's just, this is not something you listen to and just one, per track. This is something you listen to as an experience. I mean, I think all your releases pretty much speaks that kind of volume. The reason I moved to something like this when I want to listen to this kind of doom is because of the psychedelic experience too. I feel like I'm in a different planet. If I'm going to be stuck on an island, you want that escapism.
Yeah.
And this will give it to me. It's just, and there's so much stuff going on with the textures and the spacing. I don't know how everything just is able to be discernible. And just again, I'm not an engineer, a mixer, or anything like that. All I know is that this is just amazing, and it sounds good, regardless of what shitty system I put it on. Like, like the setup I got back here, and it's just fucking one of the best things. I think this is one of those landmark albums that always it sets a bar for anybody else trying to attempt something like this. You guys were brought about Trementis, Stygian, stuff like that. I think releases like this is what influences releases like that, later down the road, and this is definitely a landmark album.
Yeah. I mean, Greg, you got to stop putting out good albums, man. It's just kind of getting old. Just saying.
Being so good.
And the thing is that's the one album, Greg. If you remember when we talked about it, I told you that was the one that I missed. That kind of escaped me. And man, when I tapped into that album, it just kicked my face in. It was so good.
Greg, so this was put up by Aesthetic Death, right? So at the time, did you know this would be the last thing you would put out with them before moving on to Season of Mist?
Originally, it was put out with Ivan Records in Italy.
The logo. The logo's here.
Yeah, Aesthetic Death put out the vinyl alongside Ivan. But basically, we've been working with Stu for quite a few years, and he was over those few years, he was getting a little bit less active with the label, and we were looking to kind of branch out a little. And we'd known Maro for many years. We'd known him with his other band, who you should also get a mention, Russell Gethy, Italian doom band, the death doom band.
That band's like a spiritual experience when you listen to them.
Yeah,
like the chanting.
Excellent. And we decided to just, he was basically asking us for quite a long time if we would do something for his label. So we decided to go with Ivan for that album.
I'm guessing Season of Mist is working out really good for you. You've been with them for a long time. It's still with them even up to this. This is another.
Mhm.
Again, I could have pulled any one of these. It's
Hey
all
Rick,
island albums.
I know where there's an interview with Greg that's really good that gets into all that stuff.
As long as it's a two-parter, and I'm not in it.
It's a
in any way,
two-parter. Yeah, it is. It's like an epic. It's like War and Peace. So I mean, check it out. All right, we're gonna move on to me, and I picked one. I think nobody's gonna pick this. I hope, because a lot of the other ones, you guys probably are very obvious, but I don't know that this one is. So I'm gonna take the cover out so you can see a little bit better. But we're gonna go with Japanese doom band Corrupted, and we're gonna go with. I'm not gonna pronounce this properly. Hilandos de Gusanos, which means to fill oneself with worms. Man, I just love that right away. And the fucking artwork is just so epically evil. Anybody into Corrupted here? Japanese Doom?
Mhm.
Never heard of them, but I'm going to look at them up now.
Oh, I think you'll dig them. I will tell you right now, the song on here called Sangre. I'm not Spanish, so sorry if it doesn't come out sounding very Spanish. Sangre is so fucking dark and dreary, and it's basically just a piano with a lot of reverb and a little bit of delay. And the singer, I think his name is Chewy. No, Chewy's in Voivod. Fuck, what's his name, man? I'll look it up here quick. He whispers the vocal, and it's just creepy and haunting and fucking weird. And I love it. And the other thing about this band, if you don't know, and I think some of you guys said, Greg, you said you know them and like them. They're a Japanese band that sings in Spanish. Figure that one out, because that's about as bizarre as it gets, right? And this album, I have several others. El Paso, I've got El Mundo Frio. El Mundo Frio is like a dark ambient record. It's fucking cool as shit. I don't know if they put anything out. They've done it lately. It might have been a while. They put a ton of 7-inches out with like Noothgrush and some of those. I'm trying to remember is it Night Gaunt? Who the hell did this? I can't remember. But Corrupted. Check these guys out. You want Japanese crust doom? This shit is fucking wicked, man. I love it. Okay. We are back to you, Greg.
Okay, so for my next one, I was going to go for something a little more in the traditional vein, but a band that I thought maybe no one else might mention, and it's Solitude Eternus.
Mm.
And the Into the Depths of Sorrow was the first album of theirs that I heard, and the vocals are just unbelievable. They're just absolutely unbelievably epic. The emotion in the vocals and just the music, the harmonies, just absolutely top level, really top level.
I think you probably stole one of Rick's, because Rick loves Solitude Eternus, and so do I. I don't own anything. I'm only showing stuff that I actually own. But you mentioned the vocalist, and I'm gonna throw an honorable mention in here quick, real fast, and that would be this album here. Which is so fucking good, man. Robert Lowe's on this. He's on Death Doom. What is it? Death Doom Magic and one other one. Psalms of the Dead, or
So it's one with a little priest thing on it. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And but this is the best one with Lowe by far, and it's frankly one of Candlemass's, for me, best albums. And I think Candlemass across the board generally has released great albums. This one kicks ass, and Robert Lowe is amazing on it. Apparently live he had some trouble, though. He does. Well, I'm not going to get into that. But, yeah, Greg, were you done? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I just wanted to share that thing about the Candlemass. So, great pick, man. Which was the album, the debut?
I think that was the debut, actually, yeah.
You have that one, Rick?
I could pull it.
Johnny, you have it?
Yeah, I'm at work at the moment, so I don't have any actual albums to show.
I get it. Johnny, you have it? Do you want to show it? Okay, go ahead, show it. There we go. Was that one of your? Oh, sorry, Johnny. Hang
I
on.
have the one actually.
Yeah. This is the double pack that came out from Dissonant Productions last year with the first 2 albums on it.
Yeah.
Which is quite sweet.
Well, wait a minute. You can get their CDs now? I thought you couldn't find them anywhere.
No.
They've all been repressed. Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah,
when were they reissued?
Just at least a couple of years.
Dissonant Productions.
Okay. Fuck, I gotta
So
get
you got
them.
the first one
Yeah.
and obviously the second one.
Yeah, I gotta get those. Damn.
That was my
So-
favorite reissue last year. I was ecstatic when they came out.
Absolutely fucking
This is
brilliant.
the debut right here.
Well, hang on, Rick. Hold on. Where's the best place to grab them at?
You can get them on Amazon, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Amazon? Okay.
Yeah.
Or go. They've got I think you can get them direct from Dissonant Productions. I think I got mine direct.
Is that the guitar player's label?
No, it's not done for him. No.
Okay.
They do loads of the issues, don't they, Liam? They do tons
Yeah.
of the issues.
Yeah.
All right, John, I'll get with you on that. I want to find that because I want to pick that up. But well, actually, we're back to Liam. Sorry.
So carrying on with Solitude Turners, I'm a massive Solitude Turners fanboy, and I have
I
the
think we
original
all are.
press of that album mentioned.
Bastard.
Mine. I was very lucky to get this on eBay. But the one I was going to mention, that isn't my favorite. My favorite is this one, Beyond the Crimson Horizon.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
my favorite too.
fucking
Yeah.
incredible
Killer.
album. And the track Black Castle was one of the first proper epic doom songs I could really get into. And to this day, like, my kids love it now, my wife loves it. Like, I binged this band to them, so they all know who Robert Lowe is. They all know all about this band.
If I may interject, Liam actually has a video with his kid playing some of this stuff, and it's
Yeah.
pretty amusing.
Yeah, he loves all this shit.
All right.
But I mean, all their albums to me are brilliant. There's only like 5,
Yep.
I think, 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. I've got them all, and they're all amazing. And
Yep.
you know, you can't go wrong with this. And this is a reissue from last year, so this is a repress.
Rick, didn't you send me something about a Robert Lowe interview, a recent one?
I'm actually friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I talked to his manager as well, who's from Norway, quite a lot as well.
But is he doing a different project now, or what?
He's doing a noise project at the moment that they sent me to listen to, and I won't
Yeah.
lie, it sounded.
So get this. You know what I got in the mail today? So I got the new Grief Collector, right?
Oh, I
And
really
it-
want that. Yeah.
Rob's not in it.
He's not on it anymore. They kicked
He's
him
not the
out.
band at this point.
Yeah.
This new guy's great though.
He's really good. But
Definitely
they
recommend.
kicked him out of Tyrant as well because he was in that band for a little while.
Yeah.
He's got his issues, I think. There's something to do with not being able to travel, being the main one. But
Oh.
He's
yeah,
got Rob?
yeah, Rob, yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't he have a little bit of a drink issue?
I would assume so. It must be something like
Candlemass
that.
guys had issues with him.
Yeah, Candlemass, he couldn't perform on stage without getting kind of loaded, and he would fuck up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's an amazing vocalist to me. He's like top
Oh, yeah.
5 easily. Like, his voice is iconic for me, even though he
I
probably
agree.
can't do it like he can, like he used to. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're all on the same board.
I
there,
fucking
yeah.
love that band. Yeah.
All right, Johnny, you ready? I'm just trying to keep it moving, guys, so we can try to wrap up in 2.5 hours, if possible. Greg, you gonna be all right with that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. Oh, hang on, Johnny. Gotta unmute you. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Sorry. All right.
No worries. Yeah, I'm gonna go Solitude Eternus while we're showing them. I think we all love this band, so it's just one of them that you've just got to show, haven't you? I think I'll probably go first album as well. I knew Liam was going the second album, so that's why I thought I'd pick the first one. But yeah, I'll probably take this with me to the desert island. I can listen to both the fuckers then, can't I? So yeah, excellent
Good shout.
stuff. As you
Yeah.
say, they're just they obviously, you can tell they're big fans of Candlemass.
Oh, yeah.
In this,
Got it.
and actually, there's a booklet, and it goes through, that they will obviously, one of the first things on the booklet, there's Epicus, Doomicus, Metallicus. They're talking about how he wanted to, because he I can't remember the name of the band he was in before, but they were obviously heavy, weren't they? And he didn't want to play fast; he wanted to play slow instead. So he just made his own band instead. So really good, awesome stuff.
Yep.
Can't fault
Killer.
it.
Great choice. It just dawned on me. We're getting almost through pick 5, and if we're all stranded on that same desert island together, we might have 50 albums to choose from. So it's
Good times.
That's cool. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna play them, but without electricity and shit. But we'll figure something out. Well, like one of us will get on one of those bike things, like on Gilligan's Island. Where we'll get the professor to create a power generator with a bike thing or something. All right, Rick Tracy. Rick Tracy. Good thing I'm not drinking.
So something occurred to me, and okay, so we're on this island, right? We got our music. Do we have we have the physical albums with us, right?
Yes.
We're gonna be a bunch of lonely boys on this island. So
yeah, that's true. I thought about that.
Figured let me pull something that will satisfy musically, but also visually. So it is an album that has introduced me to a side of Doom that I've learned to really love over time, and that's something with a gothic elements. And this was shown on the stream over heavy metallurgy when they were doing the gothic topic. But I was thinking this can also apply because it's very much a Doom album, and actually this is one of the bands that kind of pioneered the style. Velvet Darkness, They Fear.
Don't know that one.
So,
Theater of Tragedy. That's
Theater,
what. Is that the first one?
Yeah, stuck on an island, and yeah, I got something I can look at while also listen to and enjoy. very, very much so. I might keep it in a plastic sleeve and kind of obscured for good reason. But I think between the debut and this, but this right here is where I think it's where it really hit with me with this band, and just. Again, it's very emotive and beautiful, but it's also very beastly. And between Raymond and Liv Christine doing their thing, it's just all around. Black as the Devil Painteth, Whom the Moths Shine, and When He Falleth. It's got that Mask of the Red Death sample in there that we all know. I think Bellwitch also used something from Mask of the Red Death. So yeah, that's been used in Doom albums. But yeah, it's one of that will stay with me. I love very much. And this is a band that was there, pioneered, not part of the Peaceful Three. But
yeah. True.
But really,
that's a good pick though, because I have that. I don't actually have I have CD Rs of that. My friend John that we met down at Decibel Fest, he made me a shit ton of that stuff. And I struggle with the Beauty and the Beast thing. I really do. I don't know what it is. It never really fully connected for me, but I get why you'd choose that. That's a good one to choose too. So, okay, yeah, Peter, Liam just said you and I both have long hair. Things could get kind of weird on the island. Listen, man, you're a nice, good-looking young man, sir, but it's not gonna happen.
I can't prepare. That's what just saying.
But you can borrow Rick's album.
Just keep that sleeve on there, yeah.
Just keep it in the sleeve. Don't get it sticky, and we're good.
You can borrow Rick's album and head onto the other side of the island for a little alone time. You know what I mean? All right, I am gonna go there because, well, I'm the guy that's doing it. So, yeah. Gotta have some Candlemass. Just you can't do a fucking Doom stream without talking about Candlemass. And I struggled between this and Epicus, man. I was back and forth, and I had King of the Grey Islands, but that King of the Grey Island is amazing album, but it is not Nightfall and it is not Epicus. And if I had to put them up there, this one edges out Epicus by just a tad, and it's not because of Messiah. I love Messiah, but I actually am one of the weirdos that actually really likes Johan, right? That's his name, right? The guy that's in there now that was on the first album, right? Johan?
Got to see him for the first time last year at Decibel Fest.
I haven't seen. Well, when I saw him, unfortunately, they had Matt. Matt's Levin.
Yeah, Matt's Levin
was singing for him. That was back in Death. Oh shit! What's it called? The Baltimore, Maryland Death Fest in 2017, and Leif wasn't there. It was Per Weberg playing bass, and that was cool to see Per because I knew him. But Matt's, no offense to him, but he's not Messiah. He's not Johan. So anyway, this album, man, this is the double disc that came out through Powerline back in 2001. Man, this thing has been played and played and played. And I mean, the Well of Souls. Does it get much better than that song? Is there a better Doom track out there than Well of Souls? I'm not sure there is. Messiah's fucking crazy good on it. At Gallows End, Samaritan, Darker, The Veils of Death. Oh man, Bewitched, Black Candles. This fucking album just rules harder than you could ever rule. And I will honestly say that when I reach for Doom, the band I probably reach for the most, no offense, Greg. I please don't hate me, but I would say that Candlemass is almost the top one. And the weird thing about Candlemass is they've had like 8,762 singers. So, and I like every one of them. Generally, that's the really bizarre thing. I really do like all of them. Was Messiah the high watermark for them? Probably. But I think Johan and him, man, I'm kind of right there. Anybody got any comments about some of our picks so far? Anyone
I would say Candlemass for me. This is the best Candlemass album. This
okay,
one.
hang on. I was looking at that one too. I have them all.
The title track on this is my gateway into this band, and I fucking loved it. Like, it's such a heavy riff throughout the whole song, and it just goes and goes and goes. Amazing band.
So that was one of your picks, but now it's an honorable mention.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah, you ruined it.
People were saying, I forget who said it, but the first four, it's like for a lot of people, it's interchangeable. It's like interchangeable, but and then they actually split up after that for a brief period, right? And then then they reformed.
Well, I think
they may not know that.
Yeah, after Messiah left, they did. I think Leif did the what's it called, Crux.
There is another band that had Messiah in it. I forget what they're called now. They did 3 albums.
I think they're called Crux, wasn't it? Is that the one?
No, that's Leif's band. No, there's a Messiah. There's a Messiah one.
Messiah's band. Yeah. I don't know the name of it.
Oh, what are they called?
Candlemass became abstract algebra. It was a little more.
The Dactylus Glamerata, and I actually like that album, but it's a weird album. That's probably their weirdest.
There's also the one with the blonde-haired Swedish guy. It was quite.
13th.
No, what's it called? It's the one with the blue cover.
Yeah,
there's
2 of them there where they switched singers. There was 2 different singers right after that. I have them, but I didn't pull them up. I'd have to pull. I'll look it up then.
Chapter 6. That's the album.
Chapter 6 is one, and then what was the one after that? Because they had a different singer on that one too. Something about 13th.
I don't think I ever got that one actually. There's Dactylus Glamerata or something like that.
Dactylus Glamerata.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one with Michael doing guitar.
Michael
Ammett.
Oh, that's right. Mike Ammett's on it. So is Frederick plays some on there. Frederick from Opeth.
Oh, that's right. He does.
Yeah, because he played with Leif in that Crux project. So yeah, it's good stuff, man. All of it's great. So where are we at? I'm sorry. Liam, is it you, right?
I think it's Greg actually, not me.
Oh, it's Greg?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I that's right. It was me. I'm sorry. I'm getting lost in my own shit here. Apologize.
So next band I was going to go for was Skepticism from Finland, and I was going to go for the first album I heard of theirs was Stormcrow Fleet, but the one that I want to choose is the Ethia EP. I mean, it's an EP, but it's actually pretty long. It's really kind of like an album length, but I'm going to go for that one because that one and the sound was really good on that one, really punchy, really heavy. And the song, The March and the Stream, is just one of my favorite kind of funeral doom songs, really. And I think they're just an excellent band. And yeah, just highest praise, really. So, for me, one of the great albums of the time.
Yeah, I don't own that. Shame on me. I don't own it, and I was actually looking to pick it up this week because I'm like, dude, you need to own that fucking album. It was like $42 on Amazon. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I really want it that bad. I'll hunt around for it somewhere, but it's an import. I don't think you can get it anywhere. If anyone knows where you can get that for the regular price of a CD, I don't need the album. Let me know, please. Yeah, that's a great choice, Greg. Just very unique band that had a very unique sound. Really, that finished things there, but they just don't. No one else really sounds quite like them, I think.
Yeah, they're very unique, and for me, their skepticism are the epitome of what funeral doom is. The genre itself was actually applied retrospectively, really, but for me, if I thought of a funeral doom band, it would be them.
Awesome choice. All right, Liam. We're on number 6, right, guys? We're on number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I lost count. So this one is a newer band. This is a German band called Funeral Fuck.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, this is a fucking amazing album. So this kind of follows in the lines of Solitude Eternus. If you're a fan of Solitude Eternus, you already love this band. This is a 10 out of 10 album for me. Like, every single song on it is amazing. It's a concept album about the Catholic Church and the evil side of it, with all the stories that came out about stuff. And it's just amazing. It's got the members from Ophis? That's how you pronounce it, isn't it? Which is like a German funeral doom band. And the vocalist Simon, he's an amazing singer who's in another band called Voidhaven, which are putting out an album this year. And they all dress up like priests on stage when they perform, and they all have like weird band names, stage names, and it's just an amazing album, like top tier epic doom. So yeah, I adore this album, Funeral Fuck.
I tried looking for that LP, but that's going for stupid money. So I opted for the CD.
Yeah, it has been repressed, but luckily I live near Germany, so the postage wasn't that bad.
No.
Sure, yeah.
I gotta give away my firstborn and my left arm for one.
Yeah, well, that is a first press. That one though, that is a first press.
Just real quick on the Candlemass thing. So chapter 6 was Thomas Wikström.
Thomas, that's his name.
Yeah, and then you had for the one I was thinking of, which was after Dactylus, was From the 13th Sun, and that had what's his name here? Bjorn Flodquist.
See, I don't count them as Candlemass albums because they're technically not, are they? Because they were written for Abstract Algebra, but the label.
Which one? The sixth one and the other one?
I think so. Yeah, I think the labels prompted him to put them out as Candlemass so they would sell.
Actually, you're right. The From the 13th, they don't have any of the guys in the band that were normally in the band. I'm looking here. Dactylus has Mike Ammett. You're right. Mike's in there. Ian Haugland isn't he? He's in Europe, wasn't he? The drummer? Yeah, he's the drummer from Europe, I believe. That's kind of wild. I didn't realize that. Yeah, you're right. They're technically, I guess they really aren't Candlemass, like, because of it's just Leif, pretty much.
Mm. I mean, he does write all Candlemass songs technically, so you could.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Okay, Johnny, you are up. I will unmute you. Go for it, sir.
Thank you, sir. Right, I suppose I better get to the Peaceful Three, hadn't I? And since Nick mentioned Gothic stuff, I'm just going to have to go and be boring and go for Gothic by Paradise Lost. Second album, absolutely fucking brilliant. Love it to death. This is an OG copy, but the first thing I've only got that recently. The first thing I had was this.
Oh, Lost,
which came out. I did make a note of it because I couldn't remember when it came out. This came out 96, so it was brought out by Music for Nations and Peaceful, and it's got the first 2 albums on it, just in a nice little box set, which is quite cool. And it's got just.
I'm realizing you're pretty good about the double set thing. You did that with the Solitude Eternus.
Yeah. It's a bit older, but you get value for money, Nick. What can I say? I'm a tight fucker, so if I can get 2 albums for the price of one, I'm in there.
Yeah, but even those go for stupid money. I've noticed. I go online, I get the value
now, but at the time it was, as it says, I think on the hype sticker, 2 CDs for the special price. But yeah, a special price. I can't remember what it was, obviously, but yeah, no, gotta go for Gothic. I love Lost Paradise. Obviously, it's a bit more raw, but I have got it on vinyl somewhere hanging about. But for me, Gothic is where it kills it. I just think this album is just pretty damn perfect. And for me, these are my favourite of the Peaceville 3, Paradise Lost.
All right. Very good, Johnny.
Every track on here is just awesome. Even like instrumental shit on it. It's great. Really, really cool. Love it. Just
Like that
heavy and-
artwork too. That artwork's killer.
Yeah, no, it's for me. It's the sweet spot for Paradise Lost.
Well, I'm going to go there, but not. I pulled it. I listened to it. I have one complaint about Gothic, and I'll get into it when I talk about the choice I made. Otherwise, it would have been the one I chose too. So we've got Rick. You are up, man.
Greg, I keep finding myself piggybacking off of you, man. Like when you show something, I'm like, oh, that's the next.
That's going to be really weird on the island, man.
Like,
I'm just saying.
I got theater tragedy to protect me from any unusual circumstances. I'm just saying. Okay, so this band, in a lot of ways, reminds me of Esoteric. But imagine a Finnish if Esoteric, right? If you were Finnish, and instead of the escapism, you wanted to kill me, or you wanted me to kill myself. This particular project has those kind of essences of, and what's weird about this is we're showing the particular album, right? But to me, this is more like it's a 3-set volume, so they kind of go together. I will show my favorite one, but I think they still all go together. And this is a band that ended because of the suicide of the lead guy. Colosseum.
Wow. I've never even heard of this one.
Chapter 1, Delirium. It's very heavy, very well mixed, very well put together, and this moves at such a pace, and it's just ethereal, but heavy, punishing. It's so miserable at the same time. By the time you get to volume 3, I'll show you the other 2 volumes. You're going to understand. I'm not advocating suicide, but I would understand if someone would produce this kind of work. Well, this is actually chapter 3, which is Parasomnia. And here's chapter 2, Namquam.
Man.
And
You said Finnish?
Yeah, Finnish. This is a masterpiece. All 3 put together. I think this is one of those things where the guy probably wanted to off himself years ago, but wanted to finish this. Like, you just have that feeling. You listen to this, you're like, he needs to finish this before calling it quits. And
any of you other guys know that band? I've never heard of them.
I've only recognised the second one with that cover with the dead body on it. Yeah,
you know them, Greg?
Yeah, I've heard Colosseum before. Yeah, great band.
Yeah, the other members moved. I forget what they formed as, but as far as the name Coliseum itself, the project ended. But if you're going to begin, just go right to volume 1, and if you like it, then move on to the other ones. But if you're already listening to very dense funeral doom, you're listening to the Esoteric, the Third Gothic, things like that, I don't see why you wouldn't like this. This is a masterwork right here.
That's not cheap to get either.
No, I got this a while back through. This was put up by Blood Music. So I don't even think they sell this anymore at their store. But look how miserable these guys look here.
Yeah, I love all that kind of shit. Yeah.
but it's great.
Okay, I gotta check that out. That's one I do not know. And I'm having packaging stress. This fucking thing fell apart on me the minute I opened it. What the hell? Hang on. Okay, there we go. No, it still won't shut. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to do it this way. I gotta figure out the tray is broken in this thing. Peaceville 3. I'm going there again, piggybacking on Johnny Mac. And as I said, Gothic, I pulled that thinking that was the one I wanted to pull for this band, but there's something about the drum sound on Gothic that bugs the shit out of me. I don't know what it is, but it's just this super high, snary sort of. I just don't like the sound of the drums on that album, but I love the songs. I love, Nick's growls on there are fucking killer, which they're not on this album, but so be it. And this was the first Paradise Lost I picked up, Draconian Times. One could say that they became a little more poppy on this album, I guess. With Icon, Icon was before this and kind of had like Embers Fire and some of those songs on there, but a little bit more. I don't know. Can you really be radio friendly when your shit's so doomy and sad and forlorn? I don't.
Accessible might be a more of the word, but even that's a bit of a
it's a stretch. It's a stretch, but accessible is probably the word. Yeah. This is the Legacy Edition, which has the DVD from '94, and then there's like fucking like 8 demos on here of a lot of the tracks on side one. I'm looking to see when this came out, 2012. And this came out on the End Records. You guys remember the End Records? Liam, you won't remember them, but I think some of the other guys might. You guys remember the End? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love this album. I love the sound of it. I love his guitar tone on it. I love Nick's voice on it. The first 4 songs, just right out the gate. You've got Enchantment. You got Hallowed Land. Down, 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 down. Oh, I love that fucking song. The Last Time, another killer track. Forever Failure.
Forever Failure is my favorite from that one. That's a brilliant song.
So good. So good. I have, with the exception of Lost Paradise, which I don't have, and there's one other CD I'm missing of theirs. Where are they at right now? Did they put out Medusa, and then what was the one? Was there one after Medusa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that one. What's it called?
I don't have the latest 2. The last 2 and Lost Paradise. I have everything else. I fucking love this band, man. This album.
I've played with those guys at a festival. They're really nice guys.
Are they?
You talk about Obsidian, right? I think
Obsidian. The Plague Within and Obsidian are the newer ones that I remember. Yeah.
All right, man. So there we go. That's I have one more Peaceville 3 band to go, of course, and we all know who that's going to be. But yeah, killer. Greg, you ready to roll?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So, my next one, I'm going to go somewhere a little closer to home with Morning Beloved from Ireland, and I'll go for the Stellan Stalkers. I think they're an excellent band. They're mixing both the melodic vocals. Frank's vocals are unbelievable. They're just excellent singer. And then you've got Darren providing the growls, and just the band are always very tight. They're great guys, good laugh, and always a pleasure to watch them play live or listen to them on record.
Cool. Peter, at least you've admitted your mistakes. You've admitted your sins, because I get it. You probably thought they sold out. They're commercial, man. But yeah, that's Draconian's fucking killer. All right. Morning Beloved. It's another one I know the name of, but I don't know the material, so that's one I got to check. I'm going to have a lot of shit to check out here, man, and look into. So that's so far, this is great. A lot of variety here. Liam, what you got?
As I say, Greg's choice for Morning Beloved, a fucking awesome band. Their album Dust is my favorite from them. That's a brilliant band. Really cool.
Where
band.
are they from again in the UK?
They're in Ireland.
Oh, they're Irish.
Yeah. Really cool band. But I've gone with the German band again. This is December Noir's debut. What's it called? A Discouraged Believer. These guys are in the vein of like My Dying Bride, Paradise Lost, but it's a bit more aggressive. It's got more of a blackened kind of tinge to it, a little bit. It's very melodic, very epic in the way the way they play and the production of it. And all their albums are stellar. This one's probably my favorite by them. And then their second album is really good as well. But it's just the riffs, the harmonies. It's got everything about doomy death metal is kind of all in this band. So yeah, really, really cool band if you never checked them out.
Is that a recent one, or what year is that?
No, this is their first one from a number of years ago. And it's in the 2000s, I think.
Okay.
So the 2000 onwards, they've been around.
December Noir?
December Noir, yeah.
I like that name. That's cool.
Really cool
Okay, Johnny Mac. Hang on. There we go. You're on mute.
Cool. Well, I might as well stay with the Peaceville 3 and go for Turn Loose the Swans.
Mm-hmm.
Just a awesome album.
Killer album, yes, sir.
I could have gone first one, which is absolutely brilliant, but I don't know. The first one I heard was this CD copy of Turn Loose the Swans, but I finally managed to get they repressed it again, and I managed to pick up a copy not so long ago of this on vinyl, and it's a fucking awesome album. There's just something about it. I just love the epicness of it, but it's, as you say, it's doom, it's depressing, but
the cover right away just tells you you're not going to find anything happy here. It's just
there's something about it. And as I said, there's the orchestration on it as well, and you've obviously got the sort of the female vocals as well in the background.
That's what I like about it. Yep.
Absolutely brilliant, as I said, and I am a big fan of the gothic rock music as well. I like my Sisters of Mercy, The Mission, Gene Loves Jezebel, and all them kind of 80s stuff, because that's something that I grew up on. So when you mix that in with metal as well, with a bit of death metal and doom, it just works perfectly for me. So I'll pick this album.
Does yours have an actual swan on it?
Yeah,
I know.
I've got the swan one. Yeah.
You've got that one.
Yours has Swan on it? Ah, look at you.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the reasoning was for that. Why didn't he just keep the original cover? But
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's a peaceful reissue with the Swan?
I
oh,
think
yeah.
Johnny's got the newest reissue, I think.
Yeah. This is
All right. We are at Rick. You're up, man.
Funny thing, Lee showed December Noir, and this is their the latest one, right? The Renaissance of Hope, and it's got that funny cover because like they actually give you a choice, because I think people might find the cover a little too distasteful. I don't know, maybe too extreme.
He's just washing her hair. I don't know what the problem is.
We were just talking about My Dying Bride. Here you go, like there's a thing here, right? And then, but you give me the option for this cover. It's a little lighter,
He's taking it to the shower. There you go.
A little more impending. you get an option. They don't all do that, So for my pick, you know what? I'm gonna hold this one because I think someone here might show it. I'll let him go first. But I'll go with a band that's not looked at so much. They got doomy elements, but they might be looked at as more of a gothic band. They have those traces. There's another New York band, and this is actually my favorite album by them. Some people may go with previous releases. That's World Coming Down.
Ah, you son of a bitch, you son of a bitch.
I'm trying to avoid every reaction with this other one. It was just meant to fail.
That's all right.
Boys from Brooklyn. What's funny? So, there's these reaction videos, right? This is just this channel called Lost in Vegas. They recently just did a reaction to Everyone I Love Is Dead, and he made a statement about Peter Steele, and I have to agree, which is very funny. He goes, whenever Peter Steele does this thing with his voice, I can't tell if he's singing or fucking. Like there's a certain thing, because they got this humor going on about it, and they're always very tongue in cheeky with their stuff. If you're not paying too much attention, it's very doom and gloom. But at the same time, they make such humor out of it. And I remember when I first listened, I was not ready for something like this coming out of October Rust. I was not expecting something so down tuned and so miserable. I thought they were going to go more, maybe even more towards that gothic kind of sound. Maybe not quite.
October Rust is kind of very happy compared to World.
But not. I wasn't expecting this.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad they went this direction. But again, there was some personal shit going on with Peter and the band at the time too. Why we got this result, But I think it resonates with me and why I love doom. This album just has it all.
Mark G, what up in the house?
I think someone here did a whole deep dive on this band too.
We did. I did. I think I did a really deep dive.
Fair game. That's why I get to show this first.
And I might add that I do a lot of singing in that, and I know all you guys love when I sing in my deep dive. So I do a lot of I do my Peter Steele thing. So I get my Peter Steele on. No jokes there. All right. Yeah, I really wanted to do that one. I was going to do that last time, and I thought I'll hold off a little bit. I didn't. That's when you said you were going to hold off on. You have another one you're going to hold off on. Is that what you're saying?
Well, my friend Melissa's watching right now, and she loves this. So it's also solid for her. Hey,
All
Melissa.
Right. Were you alluding to me as being the one that I might pick something coming up that you were going to pick?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, good. I'm going to try and pick it right now to fuck you. All right. But this probably isn't it. Yeah, we got to go here, man. We talked about Sabbath, right? Sabbath are the godfathers, the proto-doomers, right? But I don't know. Candlemass, Sabbath. Candlemass is kind of the 80s, 90s, well, late 80s, early 90s version of Sabbath. But they're the European version, the Swedish version. But the U.S. had a counter. Yes, the USA had a counter, and that band is called fucking Trouble.
Brilliant album.
Psalm 9, man. Eric Wagner, rest in peace. That guy was a fucking monster. The dual guitars here of Ricky and Bruce Franklin, Rick Wartell and Bruce Franklin. Holy fucking shit, man. Are you kidding me? This album just absolutely crushes everything in its path. I love pretty much every Trouble album. There's not one that I don't like. And I was struggling between this and The Skull. But this is the OG, man. This is, you're talking about tracks like The Tempter. Oh, come on. The Tempter's like getting pummeled in the face with a baseball bat. Like, it's just awesome, man. And then you got Victim of the Insane. You got Psalm 9, the title track, End Time. Bastards Will Pay. Fuck yeah. I listened to this today, man, and I'm cleaning my room up and organizing CDs and shit, and the whole time I can't not move my head. It's like I'm stoked as fucking. I love this album. Eric Wagner, rest in peace. Was that the one, Rick, or no?
No, but that's a very good Chicago band.
Great Chicago band. Johnny's showing the album here. Hold on, Johnny. Yeah. Very nice. Was that one of your honorables, or was that in your group?
No, that was my next pick. That was going to be my next pick.
So now we're starting.
Self-titled, right, when it first came out, and then it got tacked on that.
This is the main issue, so it says Psalm 9 on it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're finally hitting a little bit of overlap. Our first two overlaps that we've had, so that's not bad for this deep into the deep dive. I think we're doing a hell of a job. So, Greg, we're back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And hang on one second here because I'm temporarily stupid. There we go. I had to find it.
Okay. So next band I was going to go for is a American band. Band I first discovered on their first demo, on the Shades of Night Descending demo. I used to write to Nick back in those days of snail mail and pen pals and tape trading, and we used to trade tapes. And it's Evoken, and I'm going to go for. I mean, you can literally choose any album because they're all great.
Yep.
But I'm going to go for probably the first one because that was the first one that I heard. Embrace the Emptiness, but you could choose Quietus, you could choose Actual, you could choose any of them. They're all great. Their distinctive sound, extremely heavy, crushingly heavy live, and really, really cool guys as well. And we've been lucky to share the stage with them a few times as well.
I was going to say, you guys have done some festivals and things like that together, right?
Yeah, we played a couple of shows with them in the US as well. So yeah,
when did they start? Did they start around the same time you guys did, roughly, or?
Yeah, it was. I think they started actually under a different band name. But Evoken was the band that I know them as, and I think they started slightly before that under a different name, but I can't recall what it was. But yeah, it was around the early 90s. They started around 90.
They were called Funerists, I think, at some point.
Funerists, that's it. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly when they started as Funerists, but I think Evoken was about 93.
Yeah, 93, I think is right. Yep.
Yeah.
And you started in 92?
92, yeah.
92, okay.
That's a band
Evoken,
from
man.
New Jersey, which I'm residing in right now.
Mhm.
So if you're ever down in Jersey, I gotta come see you guys.
Cool.
Yeah, Evoken is they're in that same group of bands that you guys all kind of started that whole thing kind of in that same time frame, and they're definitely, you can pick any one of their albums and they're killer. It's just no bad albums, no mediocre albums there. Liam, did Greg steal one of yours or no?
No, he didn't. No,
He didn't.
I do
Very
love
good.
that band though, but I kind of assumed he would pick that band, so I didn't pick it.
Cool. So far, so good. We only had 2 overlaps, so you're
I
up.
haven't heard anyone mention this band yet, so I reckon no one has. But the band Daylight Dies.
No,
This is
that's a band out of North Carolina, right?
possibly. They're all over the States, but I don't know if they're Chicago based or they were Chicago based or not. I might be wrong.
I had their first album, really good stuff.
This is the second one that I fucking love. This is a classic for me.
What's that called?
Dismantling Devotion, and the title track on the album is just an instrumental, and it's just it's so the layers of the guitars, the melodies, everything. It's got great clean vocals, super guttural vocals, really good riffs. They're kind of in the vein of Catatonia. If you've never heard of this band, they're very, very similar.
Yeah, they're from North Carolina. That's what I thought. I had their first one. It's like a blue out. It's blue, I think.
Yeah, it's like a kind of a purpley bluey thing, isn't it?
No Reply. It's called. Yeah.
But this is amazing.
I gotta check that out.
It's a brilliant album. Every single song is strong. I've played with these guys at a festival in Portugal and met them all. They're really, really nice dudes. And yeah, wicked band.
Nice. I actually saw them open for Catatonia actually down in Virginia way back.
Yeah, they talked about that tour a lot because I think that's the only tour they did with them.
Yeah, it was I think it was for Great Cold Distance. I think that was the tour. 2006-ish maybe. I can't remember exactly. I've seen a lot of shows and I'm old, so very, very good pick. Very, very good pick. All right. Johnny Mac, you are up on the docket, sir.
Right, well, obviously I was going to go Trouble, but we'll go somewhere else because since no one else has mentioned it, and since somebody's been skiving off work,
Ooh, there you go.
There you go, Mark. So this is obviously the issue from Cosmic Key because I haven't got the original. New album's a banger as well, almost as good as the Consecration one, but this is absolutely brilliant. I went to a show with Mark on Monday, and we were chatting about this sort of stuff, and he was just chatting about on the thanks to this album is my mate Mark, not with a C, with a K, and he was the guy that got all the bands to play Wrexham, and apparently Mark was saying there's thanks to him and Carl, the other guy. I think there's a syndicate they called themselves, and they used to get all the earache bands to play Wrexham, and apparently he sorted out a load of shows with Enchantment, which is cool, and Mark and the guys used to come down from Blackpool to Wrexham to all the shows, so I was probably at half the shows he was at, and we just didn't know each other. So just, it's one of them sort of,
yeah,
because I'm obviously a few years older than him, but we're kind of the same ish sort of age. So yeah, this album, I really like it. It's absolutely brilliant. It's just got a time and a place to it. This is a shitty brown one. Yeah, shitty brown. I know what you can't see, but so pleased that they managed to reissue it. I did get the CD as well with the tracks from the demo, which is excellent.
Cool.
But as I say, it's of a time, you know, that there's sort of a, unfortunately, as we all know, the story behind the band, they just couldn't get anything else out, and as it was all going well for them, and they kind of imploded. But this has just got some absolute bangers on it, you know, starting with Kneading with Honey and, you know, Carve Me in Sand, just a great album. So yeah,
Cool.
RG with C and the boys, Enchantment.
Little bit of pimping Mark G with a C, which
Yeah.
frankly we're gonna get Mark G with a C and Peter. We got to get Peter and Mark on, and we'll reconvene and we'll figure some other topic to do. Because this one's doing really well. I think we're kicking this thing along pretty good. Let me just do this quick. Rick, you're up. You're muted.
All right. You know something? So I did a purchase not that long ago from Ground Zero Salem. So he's got his web store up, and I picked up the demo he had up there, and really good stuff. And I thought it was rather criminal that this wasn't moving. I thought for sure this wouldn't be up there very long. So if anybody still looking for a copy, I think he might still have copies up. But man, amazing demo. No, not many of these were made either.
What is it? Who is it?
The Enchantment demo.
Oh, demo. Okay.
Yeah. So this was reissued. Forget who reissued this. Oh, Transcending reissued this. So yeah, really cool. So I thought at least it was worth throwing that in there. So I'm gonna piggyback off Liam this time, and you show Daylight Dies. And you talk about that sort of that melodic side of Doom, and this is a band. So I guess I picked more Finnish bands than I thought I did. So this is one of those bands where you could pick any album, and they're also. And I realized there's a theme going on here because we were picking our 10 albums because we like these bands, and a lot of these bands is very much interchangeable, which makes it even harder to decide what particular one. So I went with the debut because I just spent more, I guess, time with this album than I did some of the other ones that I might be maybe a little more highly regarded. Swallow the Sun.
You son of a bitch! You didn't get it.
Album.
You took another one of my picks. Was the next one I was going to go with?
Was this one right here?
No, I was going to go with a different one. I'll show it.
All right. So okay. So not the exact.
Kind of different.
But,
yeah.
All right. So yeah. Again, when this came out, this was going to be something special, and the band's had a really good career. I think there's between this maybe Songs from the North, which is a very dense one, and it has I think it's like 3 LPs with it. Yeah,
that's what that one I was going to show. Because it kind of gives you every bit of them, but I think that one or Ghost of Lost are the two that I like the most. I just don't own them. I should, but I have CDRs of them I didn't replace. So
Ghost of Lost.
That was my thing tonight. Sorry, that was my thing about doing this tonight. I had to actually have a physical copy. I didn't want to show something that I had CDRs or had listened to a bunch, but didn't actually physically own it. And this kind of encompasses everything they do so well. You get the side one is CD one is kind of like what you just showed there. The Morning Never Came or Ghost of Lost or Hope. But then the CD two is more like the acoustic ethereal. I think his girlfriend, the one that died.
Leah, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's on here, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I think
she was on a few just one track with her on there.
Yeah, and then the last album, the last one is the Despair disc. And it is fucking it's just,
if you want to highlight the comment Peter wrote down, he said he saw them with Draconian last month.
Okay.
And that's a band that they kind of remind me of them. They have kind of very similar leanings with that. It's if you like that this right here is probably the most raw. I mean, their stuff gets a little more emotive later on. All their stuff kind of is, but this one right here I find is a little more on the vicious side, more the hard and doomier side.
Actually, New Moon is the one that I think is kind of the black metal-y one. That's more black metal-ish.
That one you're showing, Rick, I would say is a proper Doom death album.
Yeah, that's exactly
Doom with death metal. It goes hand in hand. Yeah.
Which is why I think this pairs well with something else I'm going to show later on. It's kind of like a polar opposite of it, which is why I decided to go with this one too. Which it'll make sense when you see it.
Yeah, I've seen them twice. They're great live. They're amazing live. So they opened for Catatonia once, and I can't remember the other band they opened for. I can't remember. Great band live though. Okay, so somebody in the comments brought it up. I guess I'm going to go there. And yes, it was one. Oh, sorry. And yes, this was one of my original picks, and it has to be done. Oh, and Devin, you asked me earlier if I was doing any November's Doom. No, I did not. I think Johnny pulled one as an honorable mention. I did not. I think they're doomy, but I kind of put them in the Opeth sort of category, which I love Opeth, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think they're a doom band. What do you got there, Johnny? Hang on. God damn you. What the fuck? There we go. Which one is that one? Of Stone and Pillar, is that it?
No, of Sculptured and
Sculpture.
Stone.
the Stone Flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue.
Yeah, their first two up to the Knowing, first two or three. I can't remember whether it was three or two, but the first.
Knowing's the third one, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that Knowing's the third, and that's when they kind of start to move into their more Opeth sort of vibe. You know what I mean? First two are pretty death doomy. They're pretty doomy. Go back to my choice here, and I am going to go with. I'm going with Brave Murder Day, man. Gotta go Brave Murder Day all fucking long. The best Catatonia album. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. I know a lot of people like Dance of December Souls. Nah, and I love most Catatonias. By the way, we did a 6.5 hour deep dive on Catatonia back in February. It was fucking epic. This is my number one Catatonia album. But I love most of them until you get to Dead End Kings, and there's towards the latter part, although the new one is brilliant. The new one's fantastic. This album, man, it's just something about this album that is so different pretty much from everything else they did. There's a little bit of Discouraged when you hear the sound in Discouraged ones, but they set a template with this album, and it's just a fucking amazing album. It's beautiful. It's so doomy. It's so melancholic, man. It's just the sound of the guitars, the production. And, I mean, I said this to Luke Longley last night from Gorguts. We were talking. He does not know this album. I'm like, and he loves Michael Ackerfeld. And he was talking about how Michael Ackerfeld's best vocals for Opeth are on Watershed. And I said, no, Michael Ackerfeld's best vocals are not on an Opeth album. They're on a Catatonia album. Mike on this album is fucking insanely good.
I think his vocals is what makes that album so good.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. That and the Anders guitar tone on there.
Is there a song called 12 on there? Is
Yep.
that right? That's the fucking amazing. The riffs on
Rain
that.
Room.
Yeah.
Brave. I mean, that scream when he does that, where he's doing the tapping thing, and it just, Mike comes in, he just does that, and you're just like, fuck, man. Yeah, I love this album so much that, you know, when I die, it better go in my casket, although I'm not going in a casket. But anyway, fucking Brave Murder Day, Catatonia rules. Anybody got any thoughts?
Well, we did do the deep dive. I did give my thoughts.
Hang on. Yeah, right. If you want thoughts on that, go to hang on, John. There you go. Dance of December. I like that album. I don't think it holds a candle to Brave Murder Day, just for me. That's for me.
It's just so, these vocals are just so abrasive on it. Which is what I love.
Horrible. Yeah, I mean, horrible.
They're really harsh on it. And when I first heard it, I thought, whoa.
Well, that's why he never really did them again. He pretty much.
And it just that's why for me it's just such a different album to most things out there. They just, his voice it's almost black metal. It's just
it is
really going for that, and that's why that's my. It was an honourable mention, but yeah, that's my favourite cast.
You mentioned you mentioned the voice did a lot for that album. They did follow up with that EP. That sounds like which Michael was on, and you can hear how the production does matter. You know how it's so different, even though it's just an EP. But
I love that EP too. You got any thoughts on Catatonia at all, Greg?
Yeah, good band. I think for me, Dance of December Souls was the first album I heard, so that's probably the one that I know better. But yeah, I think they've done a lot of great albums over the years.
Do you know Brave Murder Day too? You know that one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Also a great album. I mean, I like Michael Ackerfeld's vocals on everything he's done. To be fair,
Man, I'll tell you, back in the day, when I say back in the day, because you know some of us are pretty fucking old here, but when I saw Mike the first time I saw them was for Deliverance, so 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, man, live. Now I've never seen you live, and then you use a lot of effects processing on your voice, which makes it really almost otherworldly. But Mike live didn't use any of that. His voice live was the fucking gold standard for death metal to me. I think he can't do it anymore, and he pretty much admitted he can't do it anymore. But you're talking 2003 to 2008. I know there's a lot of great death metal singers out there, but Mike's tone was something otherworldly. It was just this guttural, fucking insane. Anyways, enough said. Greg, you're up, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go for something that nobody's gone for yet, and I'm going to go for a band that didn't do that many releases. In fact, as far as I can recall, they only did an EP and one album, but they were a very good doom death band from the UK. I saw back when doom death in the UK was really kind of emerging, and they're called Decomposed, and the album is Hope Finally Died, and the soloing on that album is just excellent. Really great lead guitar work, really great harmonies on between the two guitars, and really guttural kind of deep vocals from the lead singer Harry, and who I think is actually playing with Orange Goblin nowadays. But they didn't do very much, but they were great at a time when you had bands like Mourn, Chorus of Ruin. That's when Anathema and My Dying Bride and Paradise Lost were all kind of starting up and going, and just a great time really for death doom in the UK.
Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, man. I think you would probably know this. Wasn't there a band, and they may have even been on Aesthetic, but maybe I can't remember, but was there a band, a death doom sort of funeral doomist band called Moss?
They're American, I think.
I thought they were UK.
Yeah, they're an American band, yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought they were a UK band. All right. I like, for some reason I'm remembering, I don't have it anymore because I don't think it like stuck with me, but I kind of got Epistemological and Pernicious, and I got that first Moss album. I would have swore they were.
I think they might have lived over here because our original guitarist was friends with them.
That's what I thought, man.
And I swear that there might be a reason because of that. They lived over here for a brief period. Maybe.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Great choice, man. No one's gonna choose that. So remember, guys, before we wrap, because where are we at number wise? Anybody counting?
9.
Okay, so we got one more.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 9. At the end tomorrow, when you guys think of it, or hit me with your list of bands and albums. I'd really appreciate it because I want to put them in the comments. Liam, you are up.
Okay, so I would have gone with Decomposed because I've got everything by them. They're an amazing band, but I'm surprised no one has mentioned this. That's Tiamat's Clouds.
Yeah,
thought about it.
I fucking love this album. Like,
yeah, it's great.
Everything on it is classic. Like The Sleeping Beauty is such a simple song to learn when you're learning guitar. And I learned that when I was about 17, just those simple little riffs, and it stuck with me ever since. And every time I listen to it, it brings a smile to my face. It's just a great, great album. Don't like all their albums because some of them are a bit gothic, and then they go a bit weird, and they're not the band they used to be. Like I love the debut, which is just a death metal album, whereas this is more of a doomy approach. And yeah, absolutely love it.
Is that one's before Wild Honey, right?
This is the one before Wild Honey.
Yeah. Wild Honey's fucking killer too.
Yeah, I mean everything, like every single song on this, like Caress of Stars, Scapegoat, Clouds, Smell of Incense. Every single track on here.
I gotta check
absolutely
that one
love
out. I don't think I ever heard that one actually. So,
Really? Oh, mate, that's the
Yeah,
best.
it's pretty good.
Johnny Mac, you are up, dude.
Okay. Right, so I'm gonna have to go this, I guess.
There you go.
Candlemass Ancient Dreams. This is, as I said, back in '88. This is the album. When I saw them live, they were pimping this album. So, you know, it starts off with Miller Miller, which is for me one of the better tracks. There's not a bad song on here. I think I did find there's a box set called Doomology, I think it's called, which came out, I don't know, about 10 years ago, which is like a 5 CD set of Candlemass stuff with loads of demos and that, and it's got their first live performance on one CD, but the other CD has actually got the gig I was at the Buckley Tivoli.
Talk about this.
3 tracks.
Talk about this.
I'm not sure. There's a CD box set that
Behind the Wall of Doom.
That's the
No?
book, isn't it, Jeff? That you've got.
Yeah, it's the book with 2 DVDs and 3 CDs.
Yeah, I need to come rob your house because I've been after that for ages.
Yeah, I think
I need to come rob your house.
You want to come steal it from me? Huh? It's pretty cool. This it's got this signed certificate.
Yeah,
of
it's got
whatever.
loads of cool shit in that.
Yeah. These are the Peaceful books. I have the autopsy one. I snoozed on the MDB one because that's got a lot of stuff on it too. I think you can still get the MDB one. I think.
You're talking about this one, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
I got to get that. What's in that? How much stuff's in that?
You just get the 4 CDs with the demos and the pics from the band, and then some live stuff. So it's not as good as a Candlemass one.
Yeah, I gotta pick that one up, man. And the autopsy after the cutting.
I got that
one's
one.
fucking
Yeah.
full of stuff too. So, Johnny, you anything else?
Yeah, pretty much finished. As I said, it's my favorite Candlemass album. It's the last one with Messiah, obviously. And as I said, because I saw them live, they played about 3 tracks off this and all the extra stuff as well, on all the stuff off the first 2 albums. So yeah, it's always been my favourite. I must admit, it's the only one I got in the house because we pinched all my CDs with the first 2 albums. So I would have had to have shown this one anyway, because it's the only one I physically got at this moment in time. But yeah, just
Nice.
as you say, when I think of Doom, I think of Candlemass. So yeah, that's my number.
Yeah, Glenn says Moss are indeed from UK. That's what I thought. I was pretty sure. I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said Lost. Sorry, no, Moss. Moss.
No, Moss.
Yeah, sorry, no.
Oh,
Yeah, Moss are from the
you're
UK.
right.
Yeah,
Loss is the States. I think Loss is Chicago, I believe.
yeah. No, yeah, Moss are from the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were right around in that same era you were starting up your thing, as I recall.
Yeah. They're a lot slower, a lot kind of sludgier,
Yes.
and 3-piece band, really good band.
Are they still around?
Yeah, they're
or
cool
did they
guys.
still-
No, they stopped playing quite a few years ago, I think.
Okay.
I saw Ollie actually from the singer. He's actually running a bar in London now called Helgi's.
he runs that bar, does he? I didn't know.
Yeah, he runs. Yeah. I saw him there about a year ago.
That's a
Kevin
right time.
says Lost are from Nashville. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm just
No, that's
didn't
cool.
misheard.
I'm going to try to get you out of here shortly. Hang with me a few more minutes. Where are we at? I'm sorry. Oh, we're at Rick, right? Yep, we're at Rick.
That song from Lost, what is it? Cut Up, Depressed, and Alone.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is
Is
heavy.
that the one where the singer's like a big dude, like really heavy set?
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he is.
yeah.
I've never
I
seen
think
him
he
live.
is.
So
Or was.
one item I was gonna pull tonight, but you already showed it, and this is November's Doom, which is you guys showed Trouble, another really good Chicago band. Jeff got a parlay that they got the opithisms, but not so much. Then yeah, I can see why he would say that.
Not on that album, but later. Like Pale Heart Departure and Welcome to the Fade. They're very Opethy.
I think what sets them apart is they used the female singers and stuff too, along with it.
The early stuff, yeah.
So I decided to pull something a little more on the euphoric side, a little more obscure actually. And it's a band from Portugal. So we've been pulling from these countries, from Sweden, Finland, from the UK and US. So Desire.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I like that cover. That's cool.
Infinity, a timeless journey through an emotional dream. Very, very appropriate title. I guess they're still active. They've only put out 2 releases. So this is their first one from 96. This is a 2017 reissue. And man, I gotta say, like, this is one of those, you're on a doomed island and you're prone to this escapism. I was talking about the Esoteric album. And I think this also kind of gives you a bit of that feeling, but in a different kind of way. Like I said, it's euphoric, and I think the keyboards have a lot to do with it, because a lot of times when you incorporate these keyboards, it's kind of background, adds atmosphere and all this stuff. For this, they use a lot of melody with the keyboards, along with the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So the way they're both interwoven with each other, I think it's just executed perfectly. Really good release. The production is amazing. I'm just like wondering why this band wasn't more prominent and just didn't put out more stuff in the meantime. I mean, it's probably one of those things.
What year is that, Rick? What year is that?
96.
It's not an easy one to find these days since that's been reissued.
Yeah, they weren't on my radar. This reissue came out and looked pretty. Check them out. I was already. I thought it was actually more gothic than it was. It's not. It's euphoric and pretty, but not in that kind of gothic way. Just full of sadness and despair, and all that stuff. But here's the band. So I'm sure they don't look like this anymore. but yeah, it's a double LP. Really good thing. This is something I would put on for somebody who wants to lightly get into this kind of style, but still likes things to be a little more accessible and pretty. But still doomy. It's still dark. There's still harsh vocals. There's all that stuff still going on here. You know what I mean? Some of those elements to still enjoy. But yeah, it's a really good release, and I don't just see it talked about enough. And again, but this is a band that supposedly is active, but has not really put out anything since maybe 2000. So yeah, Desire.
Nice, that's a good pick.
Very clearly red logo right there, so I'm sure you can make it out.
It's got that Imperial Triumphant look to it or something. All right, nice pick, man. Nice pick. So to complete the Peaceville 3, I am cheating a little bit. Instead of picking one album, I'm picking 3. So I'm doing the 3, well, not albums, but I'm doing the 3 EPs. This came out, Trinity. I don't know when this came out. Probably I got this early 2004. And you've got the three major EPs on here. And man, there's, Aaron's voice back then, his death growls, holy fuck, man. Holy shit. So good, so sinister, so evil sounding. This one here, just a couple songs. Symphony and Furnace, that intro violin, the church bells, very haunting. It's kind of almost like Black Sabbath. Crushingly slow, funeral doom processional vibe. Intensely ugly, and Aaron at his scariest. God Alone, that's like a death thrash song, man. I mean, that fucking thing is ripping. And then you got the thrash of naked limbs on here. Oh yeah, man,
that's
good.
Probably my favorite My Dying Bride song ever.
Oh, it's so good, man. And then you've got fucking I Am the Bloody Earth. Like, this thing right here. When I want to hear MDB, I usually go here or the first 4 or 5. I have pretty much everything except for the last 2 or 3, I guess.
That's a band where I don't mind when you put out EPs because they're always awesome.
Like the Bargus.
The only thing I didn't get was that orchestra one they put out. I
avoided that as well. Yeah. I don't have the last 2 though. What was Ghost of Orion, and what's the one before that? Something about Feel the Misery or something.
I have
Misery,
that.
Yeah. I don't have those 2. Those are the 2 I'm missing yet.
I have the latest EP as well.
I also have a very fond soft spot for A Line of Deathless Kings. I really love that album, man. There's just some killer tracks.
That's my favorite My Dying Bride album. That's the very first one I ever heard as well.
Probably mine as well, to be honest with you. So, so there we go. We got one more, and then if anybody has some, if you got a jet, cool. But if anybody has any, what am I trying to say? Honorable mentions. We'll run through those fast.
Was that our 10th already?
Pardon me?
Was that our number 10 already?
No, I think
this
10.
one is this one. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go for. It's hard to choose. I've got quite a few still on the list. I'm going to go for something newer. Just because I've picked mostly old albums. So I'm going to go for a band that I discovered quite recently. I worked with them, and it's a UK band called Die Listless Heart. It's more like epic doom with clean sung vocals, very, very strong voice, very, very melancholic. And one of the songs on the album was called The Precipice, and it's a song about suicide. And the guy behind the band, Simon, he's been around a long time in the metal scene. He's played in Seventh Angel. He plays in My Silent Wake, or another great UK doom death band. And it's just caught me by surprise, really, because I wasn't expecting. I didn't know that he was working on a doom project at all, and it's just something that was really epic, and it seems to be pretty well received as well.
You didn't work on that. You didn't work on that one?
No, I worked on it. I worked on it with him. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, just on the mixing and mastering, but yeah, he recorded most of it at home and with session musicians.
Yeah, and it should be noted. I didn't actually put it in. I forgot to put it in the link. I will. Greg runs Priory Studios, right? Priory.
Yeah.
And you guys are, where are you again? Near Birmingham.
In Birmingham, yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody that watches this or is into recording and wants to talk to him about mixing and mastering and all that kind of stuff, I'll put a link then eventually. And
thanks, man.
Again, don't forget 2-part awesome interview with this guy that I did back in January, which I will link once we wrap up.
Well, just a testament to his work. The Thylus is hard. It's a debut album, may I add, a debut album. It's something that's strong. I mean, I'd be curious to know how they're going to follow that one up.
He's working on one now, I think.
Johnny wants to show it off. He's got it. There it is.
Cool.
We all got it. It's a fucking awesome album.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Absolutely stunning. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Is that all?
That was one of the honorable mentions. That was going to be an honorable.
Is that all just him, Greg?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's done the keys, he's done the guitars, he's done the vocals. He's got some guest appearances from different vocalists, from Ian Arkley from My Silent Wake, myself, and then a couple of other guys have done guest vocals, narration as well. He's got quite a few guest appearances actually, and then a drummer called Ben. But yeah, all of the writings from Simon.
Okay, cool. Mark G says, nice guest appearance on that Die Listless Heart album there. I believe he's speaking to you, Mr.
He's probably talking about Paul as well from Enchantment, because he's on.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
From Enchantment, yeah.
Talking about his own singer then. You can't come in here and pimp your own shit, Mark. Come on, man.
He's on the shitter as well at work, probably.
Yeah, you ran into the shitter there just to throw that chat message in there. We're gonna get you on one of these very soon, so be prepared. I'm not sure what the topic will be. I'll have to get with Rick on that or something like that. But anyways, Liam, you are up, sir.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Priory Studios, hopefully Consecration will be going there for the next album, because we are writing our new album to record there with Greg. He doesn't know that yet, but that will happen.
He doesn't know. We won't tell him.
He knows it's going to happen one day. So this, what I'm going for, is Solstice is my last pick, Lamentations. This is I think they're around the Yorkshire way, I think. And first time I ever heard this, it just blew my mind how good this band is. Like, you got the kind of Candlemass-esque epic doom, but it's got kind of like a medieval England feel to it, and it's all very much kind of like power metal-esque as well. It's got that epic kind of,
I can tell when you pull that Scald, I'm like, this is your flavor too. I'm not surprised you pulled that one.
Yeah, it's just, I just love this album. I mean, everything about it, every single song is great. The vocals are great. I mean, they're not the band they used to be, and I know when they play live, they do a lot of like Keep It True Festival now, and they do stuff like that where they play the old stuff.
The power metal crowd.
Yeah, because they kind of fit in with that crowd a lot more. But they're just such a cool band. I've got all their albums. And
What's the name of the band? I'm sorry.
Solstice.
Solstice. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really good.
Not to be
band.
confused by the death metal band. There's another.
No, yeah, they're very different. Very.
Oh,
different.
okay. There's two solstices.
And I think the guy behind this project also played in Napalm Death for a brief period live. So there you go.
Cool, man. I mean, for the most part, we've avoided stepping on each other's toes. I got one more big one, I think, and then I'm going to show 4 or 5 quickies as honorable mentions, and we'll go around the pike. If you have some, you have some. If you don't, you don't, and then we'll wrap up. Where am I at? I am on Johnny Mac. Hold on, Johnny. Go for it.
Right. Well, I'm going to go all the way back to where you started, Jeff, because you can't not have them, and I'm going to cheat like you did. Instead of having 3 EPs, I'm going for full albums.
Ah, look at you.
This is, I believe this is a Spanish box set.
Look at that.
Came out in 1984, and it's basically got the first 4 albums on it.
I have never seen that before. That's killer.
So you've got Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Volume 4, and Masters of Reality. There's no covers with them, which is weird. And the
Really?
Is that an official release?
Label.
Is that official?
I believe it is. It was official in Spain, but
Yeah.
the record label was just. And I picked it up on a whim. I saw it on. I can't remember if it was Discogs or it's on Discogs anyway. And I'm pretty sure it's official, but I just like the cover. I thought it was an excuse to get the first 4 of them. So yeah.
What's that? Have you ever looked that up on Discogs?
Yeah, it is on there.
Is it worth anything, or
I can't remember. It says printed in West Germany, but it was released in Spain, so it's just a weird box set of just the first 4 albums.
Never seen that
on vinyl. So yeah,
a lot of doom in those first 4 albums for sure.
Yeah, and as you say, like to be fair, the song Paranoid it's too fast for doom, isn't it? Anyway, so we can take that one off, can't we? It's just
that and Iron Man. I could do without Iron Man too. I've heard that enough that I don't hate it. I still like War Pigs. I even still like Changes. I think that's a really cool Aussie, different.
Yeah, well, let's say,
War Pigs is my air drumming song.
Wow.
Every time that comes out, he's got an air drum. It's just I can't help it.
Man, when Priest did the Firepower tour, man, they opened to. It was fucking cool, man. I saw them at the Anthem, which is about 6,000 people, and they were playing War Pigs just as they were getting ready to come on, and everybody in the place was just, fucking just like witches at black masses, and it was just like fucking so cool, man. You just feel the energy of that, That's
it resonates too because the content of that song it still resonates today. The politicians are still crooked. Everything's still wrong with the world. Like nothing has changed.
Fuck yeah, man. But I was getting more at the point that, all of us, I think we're all there. I mean, Greg gets up on stage and so does Liam. And I have way in the past when I used to sing and play in bands way, way back. But, I mean, there's just an energy with fucking metal. You just can't get anywhere else, man. It's the camaraderie. It's a special thing, right? Okay, so I'm getting all philosophically weird here, but it's a special thing. Rick, what you got? You better not pick my last one right now, man. You better not do it.
I'm pretty sure nobody picked this one. So, okay, Devin left a comment. He goes, what about Mandy Lion, right? And I was considering that one. The
Gathering?
I love that album, The Gathering, right? But I thought of another, I guess, Doom. This is out of Finland with a female vocalist, and I figured her voice, it's something else. It's something that's, and this is their only album they ever put out and will ever put out. And that is Trees of Eternity. Hour of the Night.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about Swallow the Sun earlier, which was the dude in that band, was Yuho, was her husband.
Yes.
And
she's the one that passed. That was his wife, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I know something about that. So it's
you do.
And he's grieving. And this is something that when I first heard it, I was furiously looking for this album and you couldn't find it for a while before Svart finally reissued it. So I jumped on that right away. But this is one of those where you can put on for people who don't even listen to Doom. This is so pretty in so many
It's
ways.
beautiful. It's
And I
really
hate to attach that label to a Doom album, but it is.
What's his name? Juelha?
Yeah, who does
What's his
guitars on this album, and they work together on this.
He wrote most of that with her, right?
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah.
so it's between. I mean, there's not a bad track on here. It's just, to me, this is a perfect album, just the way it is. It's an ode to a woman who had cancer and knew she was
dying.
You know, like can't get a doomier than that, man. That's
Do you have the one after? Do you have the one after that, Rick, with the Mirrors album, where they did it in honor of her?
With the dude from Amorphous, right?
Yeah, and the guy from him as well.
That's a good one too. That's a really good one.
That's when he wrote that one. Yeah.
And then there was Leah also had I guess posthumously was released after with her solo stuff too.
Yeah, what's her name? What was her name again?
And Leah Starbridge.
That's it, Starbridge. Yeah.
She's actually South African. She's not actually Finnish. Although the band I guess is labeled as a Finnish project. Yeah, you know, being to Swallow Sons from there. But yeah, I thought I would close it up.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick, man.
It's an amazing album.
All right, well, I'm gonna wrap up my picks with, and this one, man, I really could have picked. I probably could have picked one of any four, but I went with the last one as opposed to the first or the second one, which I have them as honorables, and nobody's really brought. I don't think anybody's brought them up. I don't think. This album is just, oh my God, man. It's just so fucking heavy and doomy and gloomy and plotting, and man, it's evil. It's just dark as fuck.
That's a beast of an album.
Celtic Frost, monotheist, man. Like, you know, these guys were apart for a long time, and there was a lot of stress and strain in that relationship, and then they kind of came back together, and very shortly after this, Martin Eric Kane died. This album's the template for Triptychon, obviously, because you can very much hear Triptychon, what Triptychon became after bearing the Celtic Frost name. But man, this fucking album is so goddamn fucking heavy, man. It's just so fucking heavy. Again, I could have gone with To Megatherion. I could have gone with Morbid Tales. Probably even to a weird extent, the more gothy, out there, ethereal, Into the Pandemonium, which most people hate. I actually really like that album because I like gothy stuff. But I tell you what, I'm gonna rip through some quick honorables. Greg,
it makes sense with Triptychon where they went after you listen to that album. Kind of where where Tom Warrior was.
Oh, but that's where he was heading, right? Sure. Greg, you got a hang, or do you want to throw out some honorables real quick?
I'll throw out some honorables. Right, I mean, there's literally so many. Other than
let's cap it at if you got 10, 10's it. This is our alternate set of 10. If we find a shipwrecked ship with lots of cool doom on it.
Yeah. I guess Tyranny, Grief, Paradigma.
Wait, who?
Paradigma, a Norwegian band. Third in the Mortal. What else have we not had? Disembowelment.
Yeah, I was wondering. I thought you might pull that one. I'm surprised.
I nearly did, but I was sure that someone else would say that.
I was thinking
for Gotham, we didn't have either. I was surprised that no one picked the Gotham. Yes.
I don't know.
St. Vitus. I was sure someone would take St. Vitus.
Rick, I'm shocked you didn't go with that one. Maybe it's an honorable. He's overpulling all this shit right now, is what he's doing.
I mean, Saturnus as well. I was going to go for Saturnus, but I thought someone else would go for Saturnus.
Why must Veronica die? I don't understand.
Mournful Congregation as well. I had.
Oh shit! Yeah, none of us pulled them.
I had it on my list. It was on.
I thought someone was going to go for that. Yeah.
Yeah, June Frost is a fucking awesome album.
Yeah. I mean,
What
there's
about, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Hold on. Shit, where's that? What about In the Depths of Sorrow, man, from Eternus?
yeah.
Oh, you said Saturnus, but that first Eternus album, oh my god, dude. So fucking doomy, so gloomy, and so damn good. Yeah. All right, man. Well, look, if you got a jet, I think we'll probably go another 10, 15 minutes. But if you got a jet,
Sure.
you know, I got you. But if you do, thank you so much for being on. We're gonna do another something like this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And hopefully,
Thank you very much for having me, man. Thank you, and really appreciate all the support. So thanks very much, man.
yeah, man. We love you, man. We
Yeah, it
love
was nice
you
to
a
talk
lot.
again, Greg.
You're a legend.
Thanks,
All right.
guys.
You got to
You
get
take
your
care.
ass over here, man. I got a couch you can sleep on. I don't know where the rest of the band will go, but you can sleep on.
Someone to New Jersey with the
Cool.
Vulcan. I will see you.
Yeah.
All right, Greg. Thanks a million for
That'd be
hanging
cool.
with us, man.
Thanks very much, guys.
All right,
You
brother.
take care.
We'll see you.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Cheers.
All right, Liam, you got some. You got. Oh,
Right.
shit, what happened?
This
You
is
got
my
some-
final hurdle before I disappear for the kids
Yeah, I know
coming
you
up.
gotta
They'll drop
roll
me in the
too.
morning.
Yep.
So my last one is Convocation. They're a finished
Oh.
funeral doom band. Fucking awesome. I think Greg mastered and mixed the latest one, maybe this one as well. So if you like your funeral doom in the vein of
What's
disembowelment,
the name again? You said it, but I missed it.
Convocation, not consecration,
Convocation, yeah.
convocation.
Yes, yes.
So I'd pick there, and then you've got bands from Spain like Ataraxy, Greece's Decemberance. They've put out a new album this year. It's really, really good. There's Depression from Russia, I discovered recently, thanks to a friend. Elderseer here in the UK. They're a really good band to check out. There's fucking tons. I mean, I could be here all night, and I could
Yeah, I
give you
know. That's
a
the thing.
million
Yeah.
bands.
Well, the cool part, but you know what the cool part about having you and Greg in particular, none of you guys, I was the obvious guy. I had a few outliers, but I was the obvious guy, and Johnny and I probably were the two obvious guys because we're the old fucks, you know. I mean, we've been there from. I'm probably the only dude here that was alive when Black Sabbath put their album out. I think Johnny. Wait, hold on. You told me, how old are you again, Johnny?
I'm 55 now,
You're
so
55, so you're only 2 years. So you were around when that came out too. So
yeah.
we were little tights, but you know, I mean, it's kind of weird when you think about
If
that
you're as
album.
old as heavy metal itself.
Well, I know I am. I basically am. The funny thing is, reading the info about the blurb on here. Let me just read it quick. And then you can jet. What does it say here? The first traces of doom and rock music, get this, could be heard as far back as the Beatles' 69 track, I Want You, She's So Heavy. Kind of not off the mark. It really does down. It kind of has that doomy sort of vibe to it. But, you know, really, I mean, it was Sabbath. For me, it was Sabbath.
Because some people say Blue Cheer as well as a band that you could.
Blue Cheer had a lot more of a
doom.
fucking not punk, but what's the word I'm looking for, Rick? Garage rock sort of vibe.
No.
But because they did like Summertime Blues, right? And you know, I get I get that people say that, but I mean, I think I said at the outset,
Randy Holden was in that band very briefly. Randy Holden. He's also credited as kind of being one of the pioneers of doom music. He would buy these big, expensive, gigantic speakers to produce that gigantic sound.
Oh, right. Yeah. I still say I would argue it till the end of the earth that the actual track Black Sabbath is the template for all doom. That's the song. They wrote a lot of other doom songs after that, but that's the song. So
before you go, Liam, I wanted to do something because tonight you guys overseas. Thank you for coming on. You know, so you got your band, Greg, of course, and then there's Johnny Mac, and you don't have a band. Right? Do you play an instrument? So I made a band for you just to kind of cover all bases, if you will. So really quick.
Place triangle.
All right. So I got the Sex Pistols. Johnny Rotten, right? And I got Fleetwood Mac over here.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So you're a band that plays Fleetwood Mac songs in Sex Pistols style.
So you're Fleetwood Pistols
There you
or
go. So
Sex Mac. I like Sex Mac best.
there we go. We got all
Sounds
these.
like the coat he wears on a night out in the field.
What's that?
It's not Doom. But
Man, I love the Esoteric shirt. I think Greg had a great time, and Liam, it was so cool to have you on, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I'd
we're
love to do a
gonna have to
stream.
do
It's hard
something
to
else.
do, but yeah, I fucking love it.
Yeah, we'll have to do something else, and you guys host, and we'll come on your thing. And I don't know how that, if you guys are doing something in the, I guess, if you did something like 7 in the, if you did something like at 7 in the evening or 8 in the evening, it would be like 4 or 5, 3 or 5, 4 for us, which is very, we're very doable. Tonight was kind of tough because we kind of wanted to catch some of the Friday night crowd, which we did. We had like 25 people at one point, which is pretty cool. But it was kind of a tough sell for you guys. So I appreciate you guys doing that and staying up late.
No, I appreciate it for asking me, man. I mean, Greg's a big inspiration on Consecration. Like the original members of Consecration, like Shane, who's just left, he was a massive Esoteric fan.
Yeah.
We've shared the stage with him twice now, and both times have been amazing.
You met Greg though. You met him.
Yeah, I've met him. Yeah, a few times.
Such a sweet dude, man. Such a cool guy.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to record at Priory in the next year.
But it's really not. I'm not kidding when I say when I first heard Subconscious. Well, no, when I first heard Epistemological, I'm like, this guy has got to be a frightening fucking dude. Like you get a vision of what someone might look like when they're singing like that or something. And then I did see some pictures of Greg way back when, and he had the dual nostril piercings, and I'm like, all right, this guy's psycho. But
the weird thing with Greg is I always want to ask him, and I forgot to ask him tonight, is he always wears a headset live. He always has like the Britney Spears mic. Like this, and that's the reason I'm wearing it tonight, funny enough. But
it's funny though. You're right. He always does that because he's playing and
he's got about a fucking million effects on the floor.
That's the other thing. He's got 8,000 fucking effects pedals down there. So, all right, mate. Well, we appreciate you hanging out, and I hope you can get up in the morning and the wife.
It's all right. I'll get a small elbow in my face or a leg, so you're all right.
All right, brother.
Take it easy, guys.
All right,
cheers, guys. Thank you for watching.
See you, man. Johnny, you gonna hang out a few minutes? Hang on.
I got some things I can show too if you want to hang out.
Yeah, I got some stuff. You guys, why don't you show your honorables?
I got a few. First up, I'm going with.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah. That's a good.
Now, I know Ben Smasher's a big fan of these as well. Ben Smasher is a big fan of this. I only know because I got the shirt and I had the shirt on one of my things, and he just went, "Oh, cool shirt, dude." So this album, it's proper death doom. The vocals are full on death metal, and it's just awesome. So thought I'd better give that one a shout. Also, a new band, Druid Lord, digging this.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah,
they gave me the same feelings when I first listened to Hood and Menace. I'm like, this is something special here.
Yeah.
And then when they came along,
Temple of Void.
Temple of Void, yeah.
Yeah, digging them. A weird
Which
one.
Which one was that? The third one?
Oh,
second one.
Lords of Death, which is
probably
the heavy
one. Second one, right, Rick?
Second one, yeah. This is a weird one.
Monolith cult.
They're from the UK too, aren't they? Yeah.
Like that artwork, man.
Out on Cosmic Key, came out. I don't know what, about 5 years ago, 2017. Yeah.
They're more traditional doom, right? More in the vein of something like
epic doom. Really cool, great cover. I only picked it up because Mark G with a C sent me a message and said, "Dude, have you seen this album? You need to get hold of it." So, talking of Hooded Menace, this is my favorite Hooded Menace album.
Yeah.
It's good shit. This I liked from a couple of years ago. I haven't got the new one yet, but Dream Unending.
I just got that. Rick bought that for me at down at. I was thinking about adding that as a newer one.
As a this is
the first one.
Both of them are great. Both of
them
are fucking killer.
Yeah, I've not got the new one yet. I think that's me done actually.
All right.
So
Cool. You want to hang out a few minutes, watch ours?
I'll wait till you guys wrap it up. Yeah, I might
Okay,
as well.
cool.
I've got
Yeah,
5-10
we're
minutes.
getting less slapback, so I'll leave it up.
I'll
Rick,
do
what
one.
you
I'll do one quick cycle, and then I'll do a second one. So this cycle, I'm gonna show what I think are like the important Doom albums of the last 10 years that we didn't bring up tonight.
got? All right, should I take a nap and come back in a couple hours, or?
It's actually not that many. I didn't feel like pulling that many. So Bellwich, they got a new album coming out here, Mirror Reaper.
Damn, I can't believe none of us thought to pull that.
It's a landmark release. Monotony Fields, landmark release for this band. I think this is probably, I mean, not a new band, but this right here, it's my favorite.
Well, I got the new one.
That's the new one.
Which I was honorable. So yeah.
I was wondering how they're going to follow up with that one. This one here is from 2019, and ex-Reverend Bizarre members, but I actually like this better than Reverend Bizarre, the Lord Vicar project. And this is the what the hell do they call it again? Actually, this is, let me pull it out real quick. It's got a cool the Black Powder.
I forgot to mention these. Have you heard this one? Friends of Hell.
Oh, Friends of Hell, yeah. That's a super cool.
That's a great classic Doom album.
I don't know that one. What is it?
It's essentially members of Leatherland, Bizarre, Electric, Wizard, and Impaled Nazarene. It's like almost like a Doom supergroup.
Oh, okay, like a supergroup. What's it
Yeah.
called? Friends of Hell.
Friends of Hell, yeah. It's cool.
Oh, nice.
It's a classic Doom.
All right, hang on one sec. Hang on, Rick. Hold on. Hang on. What the fuck? Oh, come on, Jeff. What are you doing? Okay, sorry. I don't know, man. I don't think Asphyx or Doom at all. I don't know.
They got doomy elements. I mean, they go to places where cyanide goes, autopsy at times.
Okay. I don't hear it. I hear a much more up tempo stuff. But I don't know a lot of Asphyx. I will admit I only know like 2, I believe. That's what's his name? Help me out, singer. Van Drunen, right?
Van Drunen, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rick. Sorry.
Or does not determine who is right, only who is left. Thought I mentioned that.
Nice.
Another one. This is more on the I guess you call it the stoner side. I love this album. Windhand, Grief's Infernal Flower.
I've never checked them out. I gotta check them out.
It's a good album, man. Again, if this is not normally your wheelhouse kind of thing, I would still check out these guys. And okay, that's it for this cycle. I'll let you.
Okay. I got about 10. We'll just roll through them quick. Where am I at? Okay, so we will do CDs first. Now we'll do come on, we'll do albums. So Johnny Mac pulled Hooded Menace. I pulled out Never Cross the Dead. I fucking love this. Man, that first fucking song. Holy shit, Never Cross the Dead. The guitar work is just superlative on this album. Yes, Devin got me this album a long time ago. We did sort of a trade. And Kellen, what's up, Kellen? Yeah, this fucking album just rules. I think this is the 3 limited to 300 reds. I think the red vinyl, I believe. Red clear, yeah. From Hammerheart. Does that sound right? I think. Yep. Another one, and this is more, Hooded Menace has been around a while, but they're kind of newish, I guess you'd say. But even newer than that is this, and I fucking love this album. Holy shit, I love this album. Okay. Spectral Voice. Oh, man. Eroded Corridors of Unbeing. This fucking album is just... Oh, it's so good. Yeah, this Johnny Mac. You don't have Spectral Voice? Oh, dude. I don't know where Rick's at. Rick's muted right now. Spectral Voice, man. Yeah, fucking incredible. This is Paul and Morris from Blood Incantation. And oh, wait, no, Paul, Morris, and Jeff. And then the singer is the drummer, Eli. And his death vocals, some of the best you're ever going to hear. I like him better, and I like honestly, I like him better than I like Paul's. And I love Blood Incantation. So, what else do we have here? Another one that's more on the death doomy side. Mortiferum, Disgorged from the Psychotic Depths.
Yeah, I got that on CD.
Yeah, killer album. The new one's good too, but I kind of think I slightly favor this one because it's the one I came in on.
It's Mortiferum, right? People say Mortiferum.
Mortiferum, yeah. This last one, man. I gotta remember how to say their name. Jake got me this. Fuoco Fatuo. From Italy, man. This, Johnny Mac, if you don't have this, you should look into this, man. Dark, evil, dank, death doom. Fucking killer stuff, man. Fuoco Fatuo, Obsidian Catabasis. It's a double album. It's gorgeous, profound lore. I think that came out in 20. You have this one, don't you, Rick? Yeah.
I got it from Profound Lore.
Was this 20 or 21?
21, I think.
Yeah.
I got a two tape set of that too.
The last one, and I don't know, I think this qualifies very much as a Doom album, but it's kind of more like it's got elements of thrash, it's got elements of goth, but man, this album, number one, it's heavy as fuck. Number two, it is dark. I mean, it is so dark, and the vocals on it are so pain. Rick's gonna know what this is here. Maybe this is the one he was thinking I was gonna pull. I'm wondering if this is it. I bet it is. Is it this one, Rick?
No, it was earlier when you guys were talking about November's Doom. Very early.
Oh, November's Doom. Okay. Rick got me this. This is my favorite. Rick's got me a lot of stuff. He's been very generous with me, helping me out.
I lost track.
But this is my favorite thing I think that Rick's ever bought me. You know this one, Johnny Mac?
No, not heard of him.
Fear of God, Within the Veil, with Dawn Crosby from Detente on vocals. Holy fuck. Oh my God, dude.
Nice.
Oh my God, it is so fucking good. How about it, Rick? Tell you know this album because you got one, right?
Yeah. You got the what you call the demo version.
Right.
It's a mispressing, but and nevertheless, it's still pretty good. It's Robin Crosby. They're out of LA.
Robin Crosby, that was Rat.
You
said Robin Crosby.
Robin.
No, it's Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Not
Robin Crosby was the guitarist for Rat.
Yeah, rest in peace. I'm not talking about him.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, Dawn Crosby, rest in peace. She's dead too. Man, I don't.
It is a Doom stream.
Likes good metal and likes a singer that is in pain. Beautiful vocals on this that are just so haunting, man. So fucking haunting. Oh my God. The song on here called Red to Gray and Emily. The opener, All That Remains. John, check this out, dude.
I will do. Yeah, I'll get him on the list.
Yeah. Rick, you up? I'll bring you back up.
All right.
And then I got 5 or so CDs. Then we're gonna wrap it up.
There's actually if you like Dawn Crosby, like you like that style of just really harsh thrash, there's a band that came out around that time. We're putting out stuff with a female front vocalist called Megachi. I think that's how you say it. Megace. Like if you like that, I'll send you a link. But it's I'll put it in the comments.
But see, just to be clear here, Dawn sang in Detente, which was very thrashy, right? They were LA thrash. But
the sound did change quite a bit.
Fear of God is not thrash. It's not a thrash album. The Fear of God album, Rick, that's not thrash.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's got thrash leanings.
very little, dude. Very little. I mean, this is a dark gothic.
Yeah, it's
doomy
definitely not
fucking-
Dayton. Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
it's
agree with
dark
that.
and gothic and ugly, man. Ugly. All right, so Rick, go ahead. Give me your.
All right, so I did like what I thought were important, Doom albums of the past few years. So I'm gonna go to the '90s and pull out a few, simply because I saw a few names pop up. So I'll just do a little fan service to show a few things that Thor's of the Carrion.
Oh, excuse me.
And
Don't know
this is
that one.
more. This is more on I guess the gothic side of it. This is a band out of Ohio. This came out '96, something like that, '97. Really good stuff. Doom Sword. You forgot about these guys. This is
Of
their
course.
debut album. Yeah, really epic. If you like more on the heavy metal side of Doom, really good stuff. Another one that we didn't talk about, Officium Tris, out of the Netherlands. So this is their Neve. This can you see it? It's kind of like
Yeah, it's awesome.
not much going on with the cover, really, but it's just
No, it's not spot gloss.
excellent release. This is just a lot of layers. It's actually just really heavy, really harsh, just fucking doom metal done right. Very
I
harsh.
actually like
That's
that
doom.
cover. That spot gloss cover is pretty cool.
I was surprised because I think when I ordered this, they had like an actual picture or something, which I thought was the cover. Then I got this, and I was like, did they send me the wrong thing? But
Wow.
it came in this nice thread. What else? Oh, somebody brought up Celestial Season, Solar Lovers.
Yeah, that was Mark. Yeah, that's a great one, man.
This is the one with they got like 2 violins on this. It's I like this because not many of you may be into the stoner stuff, but this is where you start to hear just little groove pockets where you can tell they're starting to move in that direction. And then right after this, they hit us with that Orange album, which is literally a fucking orange amp, and they grab a sledgehammer and they hit you over the head with it.
Oh, man.
that they change their sound.
Rick,
And
you're like the Gallagher of my streams. You pull all this.
gotta be ready for this stuff, man.
When are
Yeah,
you gonna
so-
blow? When are you gonna explode a watermelon?
That's the remaster reissue.
Oh,
Of
okay.
it. So yeah, so they came back around. They're back. They're a Death Doom band again, which is cool.
Nobody mentioned Indian. I've never even heard of them, so that's a good one there.
Brian Arkham sent me an
We
Indian.
did mention.
LP.
We did mention. Hang on a sec. Eric had a bunch of shit in there. Hold on. He mentioned Dusk. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't even think of Dusk. Winter we mentioned. Mind Rot. I don't know. Paramecium. Paramecium's a Christian Doom band, right? Christian Death Doom. Creep Mime. Don't know him. Dark Millennium. No.
Within the what is it, Dark Ancient Forest or whatever. That's that Paramecium. I could have pulled that too. That's a
Yeah. I don't know about Ripperkaloo. Are they doomy? I think they're way more death.
they're pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy
Yeah.
dooms. Like that EP.
Yeah. That's
one
why
I pulled.
I think they tuned to A. What's that one?
Ceremonium.
Oh, okay.
Into the Autumn Shade. Another New York band, came out in the mid '90s. Really good Death Doom. I've actually been hunting. There's a another follow-up album after this that's also pretty good. There's a CD that has both albums together. So I'm looking at Johnny Mac, who likes the value buys.
Yeah.
So if you on the hunt, you want a challenge, look up the Ceremonium 2-pack. That's that's a really good one. I like
cool.
on that and everything. But yeah, this is just the first one, Into the Autumn Shade. But oh man, production, everything it's just a monster of a Doom album.
MJ splitting, man. Shots on her.
All right,
Cool.
see you tomorrow.
Cool. Let's see. What was the other one? Ben has what's he got here? Migration. I know Buried at Sea. I know the name, but I don't know that album. I'll have to check that one out. Buried at Sea is I think that's one of the bands that Corrupted's done splits with, I think. I'm pretty sure. What else? Oh, I got a couple to show quick here.
Before we wrap, I have one more thing to show because it's kind of personal, but I'll let you guys.
You want to do that last? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'll do that. That's the last
All
thing.
right. I got 4 to go here. I could have you know, I could have gone through a litany of other albums from bands we talked about, but I'm gonna do ones we briefly talked about one here that I think they're more of a death metal band, but quite frankly, they're super fucking doomy. I'm sorry, Rick. Hold on. This album in particular has one of the most vile, disgusting productions ever. I think this is an OG from Peaceville. I fucking love this album. It's my favorite album by them. Mental Funeral. It is so dank, dark, dripping with fucking evil. You know, it's more death metal. I get it, but it definitely was throwing in the Sabbathy doom in there too. It was making it, you know, ugly. We mentioned Trouble and talked about, you know, how important that band was. But post Trouble, Eric had a couple bands, and this one here, man, the Skull. Oh my God, crushing fucking doom. If you want to hear what, you know, we know that when Eric left, and I don't know the story there, to be honest with you. I don't know what went down, but he left, and they brought in fucking
guy from X-Order, I think.
Well, but they brought in Corey Clark too. Corey Clark sang for fucking Trouble. Oh, and his voice was shot by that time.
Now Corey's gonna cancel you now.
Yeah, well, he already did. Going from Eric Wagner to Corey Clark. Wow, that's a head scratcher. Anyway, this Skull, fucking this album is badass. It is called The Endless Road Turns Dark. I think they have a couple of albums out. I'm not sure.
Eric hit on the first 3 Incantation albums. That's a good one.
That's true. And a nod to the new school. I only have this one. I do not have Foreverglade. But man, this fucking album, Gloomlord, is just so good, man. It's so dark and swampy and doomy and fucking. It's not even. It's evil, but it's not so much evil. It's just you can hear the skepticism. You can hear the Thurgoth, you can hear, you know, the esoteric. You can hear esoteric in here, I think. Worm, who are finally out playing live, and it sounds like they're going to be doing a lot more live stuff. So, what's his name? I forget his name. Count
Phantom Slaughter.
Oh, Phantom Slaughter. Count Blageroth is Sean. Oops.
I can't help but put a smirk when I say that name.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm walking around calling myself. I'm Phantom Slaughter.
Oh, Phantom, yeah. Phantom. You got to see him. I missed him by 30 minutes or so. I missed the set.
Yeah, and you put out a good set too, man.
Yeah. So you got to see him. I did not. And last one, man, it's not a metal album. So I guess I'm cheating a little here. Yeah, I'm cheating. It's my stream. I'll do what the fuck I want. But I want to pimp this album because it is a fucking doomy, gloomy, beautiful album. And it's by the band who is no longer around, 16 Horsepower. And the album is called Secret South. Man, I'm telling you, this album is doomier than any metal album you'll ever hear. It's so fucking good, man. So good. If people don't know,
you talked about them.
What's that?
You talked about them before.
I did a small video about them a while back. I think I'm going to revisit them with maybe a better video, like a canned one. But this fucking album, Secret South, so damn good. So damn good. And that's it, man. That's all I have. Rick has, I guess, one last little thing. Yeah, Alt Country Doom. There you go, man. Revivalist, Fire and Brimstone, you're going to hell, motherfucker. That's that album, and it's gorgeous, man. It's so good. The vocals are amazing. The acoustic guitar, he plays this other, he plays banjo and this weird little stringed instrument. So good. Let me just go through comments real fast. I apologize to everybody who was in here earlier throwing all kinds of stuff out. I just, I don't know. I can't really keep up with everything. It's just too hard. What do we got here? We got, can't believe J-Dog thinks Mental Funeral is boring. Yeah, but we're all douche canoe posers, so we already accept that. We accept our lot in the metal life, and we're douche canoes. I'm all right with J Dog. He's not using the 3-letter F word anymore, so that I'm aware of. But I don't watch him. I'm sure he doesn't watch me.
He's apparently very approachable and nice. People, I went to the Threat Fest and shook hands with the guy and everything.
Wait, what's this now?
When they went to the Threat Fest, some of these people met up with him. Hung out with J Dog. Yeah, apparently he's very.
You did?
I didn't. No, I'm talking about people.
Other
people that were in Illinois.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, Brian was there. He saw him. I don't know if he talked to him or not. Brian.
I don't know if Brian did.
Sending up the J Dog douche canoe signal. Did you talk to J Dog? What do we got here? Sorry. Yeah, Ben. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, Steve Von Till and I love this album. Love it. I love Steve Von Till. I'm not drinking. I'm just very tired. But yeah, man. And speaking of incredibly doomy, gorgeous stuff, man, Neurosis, of course. Deep Dive, go check it out. What else we got here real quick? You guys are talking amongst each other. Here's a couple more from Peter. Peter, you probably have 9 million of these things. I should have had you on. Ethereal Winds, don't know them. Sad Whisperings, don't know them. Crystal Darkness, don't know them. Ulcerate? You mean Ulcerate the New Zealand band? Or is it Ulcerate Fester? Thy Withering Orchard, nope. Sacramental. Man, dude, Spina Bifida? There's a band called that? That's pretty fucked up. Maleficium, Mystic Charm, Castle. I don't know any of those bands, man. Of course you do, because you have 9 million of those things.
Mystic Charm is the one with the female vocals.
Well, we're definitely gonna get Mark G with a C. We'll have Johnny Mac back. Johnny, we do have to figure something out with your audio, though, man. You might have to go to headphones, I think, because there's something, the way you have it set up is just pretty difficult. Okay, your adjectives and colorful descriptions of everything is great. Yeah, I'm a very colorful guy, as Rick will tell you.
Very colorful language at times.
I'm not politically incorrect normally, mostly, and I'm certainly not like the orange fucking Goomba, but I do sometimes push the limit a tiny little bit. So, Ulcerate Fester were a band. Okay, I didn't know that. Fister, I know that name, but I don't know them. Neurosis, yep. Neurosis. Okay, we're gonna wrap this thing up because I gotta eat and I'm getting a little bit tired because I had to take some medication for my pain stuff. But Johnny Mac, did you have any last second things you wanted to add, sir?
Just got a couple here.
Okay. Hang on. Chemist, yeah.
Chemist, yeah.
Yeah.
Big them.
Things come out of Colorado. Besides,
they're so good.
We didn't mention Blood Incantation. There you go.
Dude, we didn't mention Crip Sermon.
Oh yeah, out of Philly.
I don't think those leads.
I can't read it.
Rosatus.
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue.
Which is a hell of an album cover. It's very death metal-y, but
for sure.
Look at that cover.
Oh, that's pretty killer. What's the name of the band again? Johnny, I can't read these goddamn things.
Rothadas, I think.
I say Rosatus. That's what I say.
Hey,
yeah.
that reminds me of something. Now that you said that, Kellen needs to come on with a bunch of albums with me and Rick, and Rick will know them all because he'll probably own them. But I guarantee you, Kellen's wife probably knows how to read those things way better than I do. I can't read it.
This is the last one I've got. It's pretty new, but I just love the cover.
Oh yeah, out of Indiana. Those guys are.
Yeah.
What's one band I want to see live? They have not come around my area yet.
So yeah, that'll do me. I'll probably need to get to bed.
Did you have anything you wanted to tie up as far as the whole Doom stream?
No, I really enjoyed it. That was an excellent choice, by the way. Really
man. I was hoping nobody pulled that. I was thinking that was the one Rick was going to yank out, but
well, I didn't pull Typo Negative because I didn't think they were quite doomy enough, and they're one of my favorite bands. So,
World Coming Down is doomy.
If you like Typo with a black metal edge, Woods of Ypres.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's another one. The front man died, so I think David Gold was his name. I got the shirt right here.
David Golden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's got not quite as deep as Peter Steele or anything like that, but it's got some of those tinges.
Yeah.
Again with that.
Yeah,
black
Would
metal
Be
style.
Pray is fucking super awesome.
I
I
must
would call
admit,
it like it's almost like post Doom.
I always thought they were black metal for some reason. I don't know
No,
why. I just think they were black metal.
They do have those elements. I
They have a
mean,
little bit, yeah. But
Cool.
it's great stuff. Brian's dropping all kind of shit in here. Mother of Graves, Killer Indie Doom. I know that name, but I don't know them. Lucifer's Children. Don't know them.
Yeah, that's I sent a copy of that to Nick actually from Thralls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
What do we got here? Doom Over the World. Ben says, this was sick, Jeff Doom. Yeah, man, this was a great idea, and I want to thank Johnny for staying up super late. And what do you got? Last thing?
Into Desolate Realms, Rune Magic. They just
Rune
put out an
Magic.
album, Beyond That Cenotaph of Mankind. So I still got to grab that one, but this is a band out of Sweden, Rune Magic. They're Death Doom. So if you're familiar with them. So I actually have an item, right?
Okay.
It's something I hold on to. So when my girl was sick for years, right? I had something hung on the wall actually for a while, and I had this picture disc because I thought it had this angel on it, and it's an album you all pulled. That's the reason why I was holding till now before I would show it because I didn't think you would pull it so soon.
Right.
And that's Nightfall. But I got this picture disc.
Ah, wow! Look at that.
I
Yeah.
ended up framing it.
That's killer, dude.
I don't know.
Is that a CD in there, or what is that? The CD that?
No, I taped it on there just for shits and giggles. I got this, and a proper vinyl along with it. So it's.
Is
but,
that from what? When did you get that? The picture is
This? Oh, a while back. Yeah, I've had this hung up on the wall, but then it occurred to me, I'm like, man, she's like she's sick and all this shit, and I got this Doom album hanging out.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
I don't know. Does Johnny Mac know your situation? Does he know that?
Well, I mean, I can fill him in, offline, but it's, but anyway, this is got a little more of a sentimental attachment to it now since I'm going through all that, but another reason why I framed it.
Cool.
Johnny, great stuff. Thank you so much for joining. And for everyone, you were real early. You, me, and Liam were early. I had to chase these other two guys down a little bit, but we did a hell of a job, man. We knocked it out in 3.5, and actually we were kind of done in 3 hours. I was surprised. I think we really moved it along nicely, and we got everybody and tuned in well. And when you think of it tomorrow, the next day, send me your 10 picks. We'll leave the honorables for people to do their own research on, and I have a godzillion amount of things I got to check out. But before we go, if anyone is listening still, we still got 11 here. A couple of things to note. Tomorrow, Jesus, I don't even remember when. Hang on. I don't remember.
Yeah, 4 hours, Devin. It's a record.
What's that?
So we got this done under 4 hours. According to Devin.
It is. I think we did a great job. I just need to look at. I'm sorry. I need to look at what I have scheduled because I want to blow that out.
Choosing 10 was a bit torture.
Yeah, it was really impossible, right? It's impossible to pick just 10. As big of fans of this genre as all of us are, it really was kind of a.
Why didn't do the peaceful bands? I'm like, that'd be like half the stream. Like.
Yeah. Okay, so. Tomorrow at 8 p.m., Miles Davis second box set, the Miles Davis and Gil Evans Orchestra box set, 6 CDs. It will not be an hour and 20 or hour and a half like the first one. I can go over the history in 15 minutes, talk about the music in 15 minutes. So Miles and Gil tomorrow at 8 o'clock. On Sunday at 8 p.m. Sharing a 6-pack with almost said Metal Madness. Sharing a 6-pack with Gas Passing Hand Grenades. I got a bunch more box sets to show you, some killer ones. Tangerine Dream, Opeth, Pudgy, Donovan, all kind of cool stuff. So that is that day. And then the last thing I have scheduled, but there's 2 more. Wednesday the 17th. at 10 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. Eastern. We are doing the catalog of the band Cynic. Myself, Thralls of Metal John, Jam and John, Thralls of Metal Necrotic Nick, and Jimmy from Future Ruins. We're going to do the entire Cynic catalog. And last but not least, actually, that's on the 17th. On Tuesday, I'm doing the first 4 book 40th anniversary box sets of Jethro Tull. We're going to do 3 episodes on the box sets of Jethro Tull before each one. So, that's probably roughly an hour, somewhere in that range. I think that's all I have scheduled. Upcoming interviews, I hope, are going to happen. I'm in contact with Brian Williams, a.k.a. Lustmord. We're going to do that one. I'm hoping William Basinski gets in touch with me. He did the disintegration loops. He's a found sound artist, manipulator, sonic manipulator. And I'm talking to Daniel Mensch, who's also a noise / found sound manipulator. I want to do some different kind of interviews with not just all metal dudes, but Lustmord's worked with metal dudes. He's worked with Adam Jones from Tool and Aaron Turner from ISIS, and Daniel's worked with Aaron Turner. So there's a lot of intermixed stuff here. I got a lot of shit to do, man. A lot of shit to do. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everybody. Rick and Johnny, hang on one sec. We're going to end it right now at 3 minutes or 3 hours, 32 minutes.
There you go, Brian. Peter North interview.
See you, man. No Peter North.